Hey, welcome to another live. Now, I don't know what your language has been like this week of your language of love overall, but tonight we're talking about the five love languages in the living room. Y'all got to be ready for that. Living room. We live, y'all. Our Everytaste Live, y'all. Let's go.
I'm a filmmaker. I've worked in film, video, and television for over 30 years. I took a little break, but now I'm back.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Art Imitates Live with me, Tanya Dixon. Well, tonight, as I was saying this week, yesterday, they had the living room coming up, and we were going to talk love tonight. Talking about the five languages of love. Can they actually transform a relationship? So we're going to see about that in just a few moments. So we'll see about that. Well, I got the living room team, the panel that's coming in just a few moments. And you know how we do. Take a moment to listen to our sponsor, and then I'm bringing them on in because it's going to be Who Spiked the Tea in just a few moments. So y'all go ahead and just hold on tight. Here we go. I can get to it. There we go.
Art Imitates Live with Tanya Dixon is being sponsored by Tandyland Global, bringing your multimedia dreams to life.
Welcome back. Well, it's about time for us to find out who spiked the tea. I got a lot of tea tonight, and it's going to be kind of spicy. I don't know, I can't say spicy. I think it is full of some type of liqueur. So let me go ahead and bring the panel in. Hey, living room team, go ahead and unmute yourself and come on in.
Hey, it's Nashville, Tennessee up in here.
Hey, y'all. You know something? I told you I was going to do it just now. And for the people out there, this is something really weird that we're going to do. I always do these selfies. Let me see if I can do it tonight. Gosh, I got these little notes on my computer. I can't have the notes on the computer when I'm doing this selfie. Let's see.
Just do it.
Every time.
Oh man, I don't know.
You gotta get my good side.
Yeah, you know what? Let me practice. Yeah, I got to practice it because you see too much junk in my room.
Well, that's real you.
So let me work on it for a little while. Clean up what I got going on. We have the selfie.
They don't need to know everything. They don't need to know everything.
Stuff up here on my desk. I got art pencils and stuff here.
They don't need to know where you buried the bodies at.
I know, right?
Yeah, like you got the instructions.
You got skeletons in the closet.
But we're going to do our selfie in just a bit here. So I want to say hi to everybody. And of course, I want you all to go around. Just tell me real briefly how your week is. And then Shannon has a story for us of something that happened this week because we're going to start doing that. We're going to do our story of what happened, on my way to AIL, something that occurred this week. And we'll go with somebody that have a feature each week of some big thing that went down for you this week. Okay, so we're going to go to Shannon last. I'm gonna jump over Shannon and go to Pops. Pops, how was your week?
Man, my week was it was good. I had been learning how to do option trading, And I actually did some live option trading. I actually made a little bit of money. It was only like 43 cents, but hey, every victory is a victory. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, victory.
So,
All right.
so that was exciting. A new chapter. Probably the first week without my son. He's in college, so I'm excited for him. I miss him, but I taught him to be smart, strong, independent, and kind, and that's exactly what he is. So I can't ask no more than that.
Oh, that's too special. I was recalling earlier with Bernard that I think his son was around 3 when I first met Bernard. I think he was around 3. Might have been.
Something like that.
And I was like, time has flown. Okay. So good you had a good week, Bernard. All right, Miss Tianna Wildside, I see you over here. How you doing this week?
Man, this week has been insane.
Really?
Lots of things are happening because I tend to open my mouth and get myself into situations that I'm not sure how to deal with, but I'm going to deal with them anyway.
Uh-huh.
And I half jokingly said that I was willing to move to Australia to one of my bosses, and she was like, "Oh, really? We need to have a conversation."
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
That's how my week is.
Oh my gosh. Well, we hope to make you smile tonight. That's the goal. Okay.
Coming from live from parts unknown. Wild.
Yeah, we hope to make you smile tonight. All right. Turn them loose. Turn them loose was real serious again today when he came in. So I'm going to ask him to turn it loose, turn it loose, turn it loose.
Where my
you got
jokey
going
at? Where
on?
my jokey?
No, I'm just chilling today, man.
The
I'm
next
always
Flip
chilling.
Wilson.
Every time y'all hear me, man, I'm chilling. So got my drink just
He's saying,
trying to vibe out, man. You know what I'm
Just
saying?
reminded
My
me.
week is my week just kind of been a busy one. You like more job and focus, focus on on some things, man. Other than that, I just been chilling, just knocking out these certifications for this what the hell is this National Society for Leadership and Success. So it's like
Okay.
so I'm working on that stuff, man. So I just kind of been in school mode, really, be honest with you. But other than that, got that red solo cup. You
All
fill
right.
me up. It's
You
time to
ready?
party.
You ready? I ain't mad at you. Okay then. Mark, go. How you doing? How was your week? Oh, Margo. Oh,
I'm
I see there's a delay.
making it. That's the thing. My
Much
feet are
better.
above the ground and my head is above the water.
Her audio's making it too.
You already know. She's
Finding peace
freezing.
under pressure. But
All right. Okay.
trying to maneuver through it all.
Making a way where you can temporary layoff.
All right.
This
I
is
started to jump in
part of
there.
this is part of
Y'all know y'all wanted to. It's like a
I
part of
know.
that
can't
peace
help
under
himself.
pressure because stuff be happening.
Hey,
Yeah, because I was actually
meat don't burn in the pan, baby.
Stuff be happening.
Okay. Yeah, we passed the 8-second mark, so we got to chill out on the song because we have
It's all
passed
good.
the 8-second mark. Yes, but thank you, Margo. Your feet is a little slow, so you were like for a little while, but we got what you were saying. So
Yeah.
we got what you're saying for the most part. All right, Shannon, what do you have going? What happened to you this week? And give us your story of what went down on your
Okay.
way to AIL.
So this week, I had a couple of like missteps. I've been trying to get my footing as like an artist or whatever, and decide if I wanted to go into corporate. Well, what's funny about having this little time to decide, the job that I feel like I'm probably going to get as a senior designer got put on hold for 3 months. So I was like, oh yeah,
Wow.
okay. But they were like really impressed with me enough that they like gave me a call and told me about it and was like, we'll be in touch as soon as we can figure out what direction we need to go. So I was like, that's really cool. And then I had a client try and reach out to me. You know, I'm gonna say I was gonna say I'm gonna step delicately on this, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and tell the whole story because it's pretty like, what the hell just happened? So so I had this guy reach out and want me to do some work for him. Like, it's a pretty big job. It's like on the side of a building or whatever, a house. So I quoted him the price I quoted him for what he actually wanted. It was like way too out of budget. So we brought it down and we talked about it for a minute. We got the whole design together. And then I went to his house, or the place that he's fixing up. And as soon as you walked in, it was the air was so awkward. It was like cheesecake, right? Like you could just like cut it. You know what I mean? Like thick, like cheesecake, you know? Right. So like I walk in and I'm like kind of ignoring it because I've got really good at handling awkward situations. I worked at Condom Sense when I first moved down here, and you don't get no more awkward than selling somebody a dildo. So, you know, you gotta be able to handle those situations delicately. So I'm telling. So I'm walking in there and I'm just like, ha ha ha, kind of like laughing it off and stuff. We go talk about everything. We come back around the corner and this girl comes walking out the back room, and I was like, and she's like kind of buff. So I kind of looked at her and I was like, I just assumed that she was just helping with renovations and stuff. And I was like, okay. So she sits down and she's like, so you're the one doing the wall, right? And I was like, yeah. And she's like asking me like how many clients I have and like asking me about business cards and stuff like that. And I'm like, who are you? Because I wasn't meeting with her. I was meeting with this other guy that reached out to me that I knew. Like, I had no idea that she was even going to be there. And it kind of felt like she wasn't really supposed to be there, because let me also drop in the fact that he had been trying to ask me out for a while and I was not going. So literally while he was offering me the job, he was like, would you like to go out on a date with me? And I just ignored it until he sent me pictures of the wall, because I needed to know he was serious about the money. Like, I'm not trying to really date right now. So so she sat down and she's like asking me all these questions and stuff, and I'm just kind of like, who are you? And she tells me, and they're like joking around and stuff, and he goes, yeah, I guess you could say we're kind of like dating or something. And I was like, I went right back to drawing on my phone, because I was waiting on her to be like, excuse me? But she was like, ha ha ha, yeah, I guess you could say that. And I was like, oh my God.
Whatever
my name said twa.
It's your business.
So I come back home, and the whole time I'm tripping, I'm laughing. Like, as soon as I leave, and the man walks me outside to my car and tries to give me a hug and all this stuff while his girl is in the kitchen doing whatever. And they had like this weird moment where it was like they had bought, you know, those like white cups or those clear cups at Walmart that you get that are like $2, $3 for like a whole set of them.
Yeah, a
stack. Like a blue color at the bottom or something. Yeah, everybody had one, right? Well, she pulls out this cup and she's drinking just water. And this is just like the most awkward interaction I've ever had with seeing somebody have while dating. But she goes to drink some water out this cup, and he goes, do you enjoy those cups? And that's his voice. Do you? Okay. And she's like, yeah, these are really good cups. Good job. And like takes a drink, and I was like, what in the twilight zone did I walk into? This is so crazy awkward. This is so crazy awkward. So I left, and he's been kind of like dicking me around about it a little bit. But I took it. Here's the lesson that I took from it, so you can know it ends happy. So I took it as a sign, because it was that was a good amount of money, and another one that came in that seemed kind of fishy. But I took them as the universe telling me my worth in my art, and this is the amount of money that I should be looking for, as opposed to what I've been charging. Okay. So I got this DJ that wants me to do a portrait of him in my style, and we're going back and forth between a couple of subjects, whether it's him or someone else, but apparently that's a little bit of a toxic situation that we won't really discuss. So we're going back and forth between what he wants me to paint, but he paid me like, I'm doing a 30-inch thing, and it's listen, I'm getting paid what I'm worth on this job.
Good.
And this is only going to open doors to new things. I'm meeting with him on Tuesday to discuss the painting, and he's going to introduce me to the owner of the club that he works on that only buys like local artist work. And then he's going to open up doors to me, with me, or for me. I'm going to walk through them. He's just, going to open them for me. But for new clientele across Dallas. So I'm pretty excited to like have this new connection. And he's already paid the deposit for it. So
That's what's up.
Right?
Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Good. Good news.
Okay, y'all. Well, let's attempt this yet again. Whew, Jesus. Why is taking a picture so hard for me right now? Okay.
Focus.
Which computer? Let's see which computer. Oh, I'm on the wrong computer. It's not working out the way I want it to. And Mike is getting like,
Nah, so you setting yourself up for some old jokes, but I'm gonna leave you alone.
Yeah. No, let her have it. Let her have it.
wait a minute.
She needs about two of them.
I was trying to be quiet. Then you're gonna bring me in, and so here we go. Let's go.
He just called me by name, so I shall answer.
Look, just hit her with like 1.5 jokes. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna try it. There's a countdown that's going. So you see,
I was like, "Is it done?"
There it is. Now let me see if it works out.
Okay.
Before Michael.
I'm scared.
I just, when it comes to things like that, the technologies, I'm sorry. I can't even blame it on the alcohol because I just started drinking.
Looking like them old women.
They have really hit.
Let me see what I got going on right here. How you put this? What y'all put this button on here? I'm looking at the living room. Now I'm looking at my teeth.
Wait. But she didn't have her glasses on though. She didn't have her glasses on.
That's right. That's what was affected.
You didn't have your spectacle. You're making a spectacle of yourself.
You know what? Now I get a chance to see what the picture actually looked like. And no, we're not doing that. We'll try it again later.
With your glasses on.
But you know what, y'all? We're going to move on. Let's get the audience. Come on back in with us because I guess when I started doing all that.
I want to try. Hold on. Stay right there, guys. Stay right there, girl. Oh, there you go.
Said, let me take one for you.
Oh, I did it. It's not that hard.
Well, just send me yours. Send me yours then. Let's see. See, what I was trying to avoid is I have 3 computer screens here and a bunch of stuff, and I was trying to avoid you seeing too much on my desk. Okay, so.
Put your toys up.
Yeah. Especially those ones that vibrate. You know what I'm saying?
They're not in this room, but still.
It was just an innuendo. It was just an innuendo. That was all that was, innuendo.
Yeah, in the window.
Okay. Well, let's get on to who's back the tea. There's a lot of different things that went down this week, and I'm a little thinking about this first story, but I'm gonna make it my second story and move on to this other one here because I gotta take a moment on the other one to just look at it for a second. But did you all hear that Halle Berry was slapped with a lawsuit by former UFC fighter? And y'all, this give credit to hiphophollywood.com and newsbreak.com. So did anybody hear about that?
No, I disconnect myself from a lot of things. So no, every time we talk about stuff on here, I'm like, do what?
Right.
What happened?
Well, let me tell you what went down. So Halle Berry is getting dragged into the legal ring by former UFC fighter, according to TMZ. So credit to TMZ. Kat Zingano is suing the Oscar-winning actress, claiming that she offered her a role in the upcoming film Bruised, that's the name of the film, but was ultimately snubbed. Per the lawsuit, Kat claims that she met Berry back in July 2019, and Berry told her that she was perfect for the project. And Kat claims that Berry told her to keep her schedule clear because the film production was on the horizon. Shortly after, Kat says that she was offered a UFC fight, but ultimately turned it down. After Berry told her there would be liability concerns from the movie's insurer. And then, unfortunately, Kat says after turning down that fight, released her from a contract. And then, according to the suit, Kat claims that when she told Berry that she'd been let go, that Berry said she could no longer be involved in the movie because she was no longer fighting in the UFC.
Wow.
What?
Come on, double jeopardy.
What does that even
Yes. Was that now, Shannon?
What does that? What's that? Why does that doesn't make any sense? That because she was released from one contract. What does
Yeah,
that
because she doesn't have the notoriety from. That's the only reason she would have been in the show, to give her like her following, her fan, and kind of give like that little irony and stuff to kind of spice up the movie. So that's wrong though on
It is.
Halle Party.
And this is another part that's really bad. She said that Halle stopped talking to her, cut off all communication on Twitter.
Oh,
That's
so now
foul.
she's suing. Yes, and she's suing for damages, claiming that she relied on Barry's promise and ended up getting screwed. So
Sounds like she's about to win a lawsuit.
yeah,
that would just call usury. Usury.
Hopefully them laws work in her favor, man.
On the flip
right.
side, don't be dumb unless you have a contract in hand. And if you do have a contract in hand, stick to that one.
About to say,
Yeah, that's true.
hopefully, whatever state they in got some laws there, because them verbal contracts, they'll tell you that they do not hold no weight.
Right. That's really pretty bad, though. Has anybody here ever had a situation where you were promised something and it didn't come through, and especially the fact that you actually put something off and then it didn't come through? Tianna shaking her head. What happened? What happened?
So in my previous career, it was always a chance that whenever I left the house to go to a job across the country, that as soon as I got there, I was no longer needed and I'd just have to go home. There were a dozen times or so that I showed up to a job to work for X amount of weeks or months, and I had to turn around and go back home after I spent, I don't know, $500,000 to get there. And so, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Oh my
crazy.
gosh. That's not right.
Yeah.
That is not right.
Yeah.
And to walk away with pride and dignity. You know, I'd have had somebody's gas can and matches somewhere.
I didn't say I walked away with pride and dignity. There's just some stuff that I cannot talk about.
Yeah,
Okay,
you gotta wait till what that law period can, the law where you gotta wait a certain period, then they can't prosecute you and stuff like that. Yeah.
Statute of limitations.
Yeah, statute of limitations. You gotta wait till that works out, then we could get full disclosure and get the rest of the story. But I actually had someone who actually had me working for him. I'm self-employed, so I do my own things. I'm my own boss. But they had me open up a laboratory and hire everybody. And we're going to do COVID testing. We're going to do all kinds of testing, blood work, the whole nine. And week one, I didn't get paid nothing. Week two, I didn't get paid nothing. Week three, I'm like, what? I'm like,
week three.
What the? We having a conversation, and he looked me in my eye. He said, "Well, the business hasn't made money yet, and you want me to finance your salary?" There was no week four.
Oh, wow.
You want me to finance your salary?
Oh my God.
I done hired my son, my sister. I done hired like 10 representatives. I done did all the set up the phones, the internet. I've done everything, set up all the computers, did all the interviews and stuff. And you have the audacity to tell me I don't need
That's
a
crazy.
financial, like if you didn't have the money, you need to tell me that. That's what you needed to tell me. And I was not I didn't go out kindly. I kindly changed the passwords to everything.
Oh
Like, got
wow.
you.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
want me to go there because I used when I was younger. Yeah, I was younger, and I used to work temp when I first came here. I used to do stuff when knew I was leaving, but I ain't gonna talk about that here. It's not in the story. That's an after show
Just,
story.
just a little stuff, huh? Just a little
Just
sprinkle
a
or
little
something before
stuff.
I left. So you know I
Okay.
was here.
There wasn't no blood involved, right?
Yeah. Oh, with me. Um.
Never mind. I don't
Well, there
want
was
to know. I
something
don't even
about
want
it.
to know.
Yeah, because you all will be accomplices. You
Yeah.
don't have to know.
High
We're
heel,
not
high
over
heel
the air.
shoes, high heel shoes, huh?
What'd you say? No witness, no crime.
No goodness. I'll tell y'all on the
Oh
after
yeah,
at the
yeah, yeah,
after
yeah, yeah, yeah.
show because that otherwise I might be in trouble. Right?
Yeah.
Oh well,
And
y'all. Okay.
you're too pretty to go to jail, baby. Too pretty to go to
Oh,
jail.
thank you. I don't want to be Big Bertha's bitch. No.
Yeah.
So, hold it on to her,
Yeah.
hold it on to her belt.
Yeah. Fighting on who get the top bunk,
Mm-mm.
All right, y'all. This is a different type of story here. Matter of fact, you're gonna have to hold on a little bit for this particular story, and do this for me. Let's have a little fun for a moment here.
Uh-oh.
Everybody, take a moment and do what me and Bernard did. Send me your selfie so that I can put everybody's selfie
Oh,
on my
that's cool.
Instagram
That's
tonight.
cool.
So
Yeah.
it won't just be
No.
Oh,
come on.
what's in
Everybody,
your closet, Element
Oh,
Rose?
out of the way.
A bunch of food.
Oh, that's good. That's golden. I'm a foodie anyway, so go for it.
anybody else willing to do it? Because it would be fun to see what everybody else's selfie looks like, and then I could put it all on Instagram because you know how I like to hit
Yeah,
Instagram.
that'd be a montage or what do we call it? Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be pretty cool. They're not
Anybody
Okay,
else
moving.
so the
willing?
reason why I was against it is because my camera's broke. I don't know if you guys can actually see this.
Okay.
You ain't got a front facing
Okay.
Yeah,
camera?
I see.
They got the
Okay.
front facing.
No, because there's no glass on this, the water got into the camera and shorted out the entire thing. But the phone still
Really?
works, which is weird.
Oh no.
Damn.
Oh no. Well, you know what? I can try mine once more. Michael, you willing to try it?
I'm trying. I'm trying to see if I can get it in there. You know what I'm saying? I got all my
Oh, now,
And Charles,
you the old man that need the glasses, huh?
Uh-huh.
nah.
Yeah,
People look like I don't care what my house look like because I'm getting the hell up out of here. But
okay.
that's the only
Charles
reason
said it
we
should be a sight for sore eyes, and so
have. No,
I'm gonna see what this is gonna
you
look
might need
like.
them spectacles, Mike. Need those spectacles, man.
2010
over
gosh,
here.
look at.
Got that
Oh, wait a
X-ray.
minute.
Yeah, that's in the dark though.
Got that X-ray.
You know
You
what?
blind. You blinded by the light.
I'm
Better
more
shine off
concerned
this
about.
forehead, huh?
Hey,
I'm more concerned
I
about what you
feel
all
you.
look
I
like.
feel you.
I
I feel
got
you.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta shave this side on the side right here and make it all smooth.
I think I did it. I think I did it okay that time. It was a little.
Yay!
Oh, people in
Yay!
technology are working together.
It took me the
Welcome,
whole show to
guys.
do it. It took me the whole entire show to make it
Woo!
work, but I did. Okay,
Miracles never
Shannon.
cease.
Shannon, you sent me yours.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, so while we're talking and on the next thing, I'll be editing these and I'll get it onto Instagram in just a few moments. Okay, so those of you on Instagram, you will be seeing our selfies. Okay, this next story here is a bit of a trip. Here's the title. Shout out to NEWSBREAK for the article. Masked vigilante on TikTok uncovers identities of social media trolls. This is kind of cool at the same time.
I
though.
like this.
But check it out. There's a vigilante group that has taken to TikTok to uncover the true identities of social media trolls in just 7 to 8 clicks. They are known as the Great Londini. The group describes itself as a collective of white hat ethical hackers aimed at ending cyberbullying. According to their website, the members of the group are the top tech CEH, certified ethical hackers, and cybersecurity experts of the world. And what they're saying is we are an open group that welcomes anyone that believes in termination of bullying, racism, and scamming on social media.
It's about time.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You know what? How about you send that over to me? And I think I'm going to join this group. I know a little Python. I know a lot of Python, but I absolutely hate the language. But I do that. I do that.
Cool. I'll send you the article. And it says, according to the BBC, the face of the group of volunteers with cybersecurity and military experience is a man named Leo. He is masked and hooded throughout the videos and uses an electronically distorted voice to keep his identity concealed. While he may look terrifying, his aim is quite the opposite, as he deems himself and the group anti-trolls. He says we are taking social media back from the bullies, pedophiles, scammers, and trolls. And they said their online movement follows the catchphrase of stupid game, the stupid prize. The game being the online trolls and the prize being caught out by the vigilante group. This is so cool.
Okay, Anonymous, come through.
Yeah, they just like Anonymous. I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, I was thinking about Anonymous too. But let me tell you the last part here. This is the last part of the article says, if the group catches a child trolling, Leo and the group will inform the parents or the school. Whereas if they detect an adult sending abusive messages online, he will reach out to the employer or the local police department. Surprisingly, Leo told the BBC and TikTok had deleted 9 of his accounts. They also have suspended their 10th account for online and harassment, though the group disagrees. And quote, until every bully, racist, and scammer is off this app, we're going nowhere, he says that in one of his videos.
See, you know what? He's doing what they should be doing, see? And that's why they don't like him, because he's doing their job. They should be releasing their own platform, but they're feeding off of the controversial and the hype. So, they know that controversy and drama sell. So they're like benefiting from people doing that stuff when it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary, and it detracts from that person's platform, whoever it is.
Right. I think that is so damn cool, that it is true that social media has been kind of hijacked, by the bad guys. And hey, I don't want to get in trouble for this tonight, YouTube. Cut me some slack here. We know right from wrong. So, but that is true. I'm really glad that there's some people out there who are aiming to make things better.
You say that man named Leo?
Leo.
That's an acronym for law enforcement officer. Them cops.
It's also an acronym for low Earth orbit.
But Leo.
Amen. No matter what. Sheila, what you got in the picture here that you're showing your tongue?
Oh no, because you told us to take a selfie and you were going to edit them together. So I'll just like that. I can't tell if it's my fire detector, but there's like one beeping, and if it's mine, I'm sorry. It just happened when we started.
Okay.
It's the battery.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know which one it is. I'm sitting here looking around because there's only 3 in the whole apartment, and I gotta look for them. So if it's mine, I'm sorry.
Okay, Mike, did you ever get your picture going? Did it work?
Oh shit.
Michael?
I mean, snap.
He,
Yeah.
he challenged.
He said, yeah, let me
Okay.
send that real quick.
Because I will set that up for you all, just to put that out there. I found this article to be a little on the cutesy side. I'm not going to really get too far into it, but it just kind of fits with where we were going before on one of the previous articles with Marlon Wayans, and he was saying why he never married. The titled articles with Essence, shout out to Essence.com. He was saying Marlon Wayans on respect and why he never married. He says, I knew my mom needed me. That was just too cute. And he talks about
Oh,
his role in respect and why he chose that and everything. But the part that I thought was just cute was when he says, I never got married because I knew my mom needed me. Women sometimes want to battle for your attention. They want to battle for your love. They want to be the one. Me and my mama share the same birthday. I'm not trying to hear you. He says now at 49, where it says that he looks toward the second half of his life and he thinks, yeah, I probably got one in me, just one. It says he has two children with Angela Zachary, a 21-year-old daughter and a 19-year-old son. And so he's had a relationship and all that. But I think that's kind of cute. What do you all feel about that kind of thing? That if that is kind of accurate, that you think that he was blaming it on the fact of his relationship with his mama, or he just wasn't ready for marriage, having too much fun out there. What do y'all think?
Well, I mean, I'm not having fun
uh,
out here, but I'm still yet to get married.
Is that again, Tiana?
So I'm not having fun out here, but I've yet to get married. So I mean,
Shut
Yeah, she said, I'm
up.
not having fun.
I think it's a cop out, really, to be honest
Takes a
with
cop
you.
out.
I mean, come on. I mean, love. You can love more than one person, and more than one person can love a variety of people. I think
Okay.
it's kind of like kind of dysfunctional, really, that you would feel that your a relationship, another love relationship, is going to interfere with your mother relationship. That's kind of like a dysfunctional between you and your mom or something like that. Because if your mom really has that kind of issue, then
Right.
she sounds like she needs therapy, not you.
Right.
And young men have to go like they're not their mother's boyfriend or husband, they're their child, and they need to, like, yeah, look out for your mom, but also live your life to the fullest too.
I
And
got you there.
just sound like a cop out to me, honestly.
I got you there. What anybody else feel anything about that? I kind of feel myself that, some people they having fun or they just not ready or they're busy or they're just not good at relationships. There's different reasons. So that might have been it. But what do you all think?
It
I don't
sounds
know.
good though. It
Yeah,
sounds real
right.
sweet.
That
That's what
sounds
it
like a good
did.
story. That sounds good.
It
I don't
sounds
know.
sweet though.
I don't agree with Pops on a lot, but I'm here with Pops on this one. I think it was he's got some weird relationship with his mom. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I kind of end up with a couple of my exes had been, kind of closer to their mom and stuff like that, and it's like it's hard being in a relationship with somebody when you see that toxic relationship between the two of them.
Right.
So I don't know, but it's also like it's not your place to step in between them.
Oh no,
You
no.
know, so I mean, so how
Mm-hmm.
do you even address the fact that you're like, yo, I think you might want to go to a therapist and address your relationship with your mom because
Mm-hmm.
this is pretty unhealthy that you're not allowing anyone else as close to you as your mother is to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you are loving a woman in that way, like they get intimate with you on a different level than your mom could, and like
Right.
that's like in multiple ways and places, so
Right.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
understand that.
most
I don't
definitely.
know.
yeah.
So I have a okay relationship with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is very mouthy. She is opinionated, and so people who actually date me also get to hear my mom's opinions that you don't have a choice. So I mean, is he, protecting his mom, or is he protecting them from his mom because there's no boundaries? I don't know.
Yeah, but that's
I,
this. You just explained dysfunctional to the
yeah,
T.
that's
Yeah.
okay. I guess we're all on the same page on this one. What is
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he was like,
But
we have the same birthday. I'm not trying to hear it. What are you trying to hear? If you have a tradition that you're gonna be chilling with your mom or whatever, I mean, you can
on
throw
a
a party
birthday,
with your mom included. Like, it doesn't mean that
Mhm.
your mom has to be excluded from anything. It just sounds like there's way too much investment in that relationship.
I mean, like
Yeah.
how many of you seen it where moms like kiss their sons, not on the cheek, but on the lips,
I
and
mean,
they
I
think
kiss
it's
my
real
parents on
cute.
the mouth.
It's real cute.
I kiss my parents on the mouth.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't kiss
I
my
mean, it's just like,
parents.
it's not like I full on make out with my parents, but I mean, like, when I go to leave or something, I'll be like, mwah, and I'll kiss both my mom and my dad on the
Y'all,
mouth.
I mean, y'all
Hell,
still
I
do
barely
it
let
like
them touch
now.
me.
Y'all still do it
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Ooh, okay. I-
She said it ain't like we're trying to make out.
No, it's just like a little pet. It's like something that you would give a little kid. Like, it's in full understanding that I'm always gonna be their daughter. Like, it's not, if you turn it into something pseudo-sexual, that's on you. But for
No,
us,
it's not.
feel like they're your
I didn't
daughter.
turn it anything. I didn't turn it anything.
No,
It's
I'm
just
saying, but your approach to it is like it becomes
but we're different
inappropriate.
generations though, and that's obvious. We're different generations, and then in certain generations, there's certain boundaries that we just didn't cross, and that one of those
My
in
dad's
my
in his 70s.
yeah, but there's always a flower child or something like that who went against the grain and don't go with the norm and stuff like that. So just because yours was an exception, that don't mean it was the rule neither.
We
Too,
came from the
what I'm saying?
paranoid university
Yeah,
generation.
like you ain't want to do that because there was a lot of other stuff that wasn't going right. You know what I'm saying? That was kept under the floor, so you didn't even want to look at the even the pretense of that even happening in your family. You understand what I'm saying? Uh, a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of stuff still going on. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
we probably need somebody. We probably need somebody to investigate them too, huh?
I know, right? I'm doing selfie. I'm doing
What
my
happened to
selfie
Margo?
selfie. Yeah,
We don't
Margo,
need none of the.
she
We don't need none of
tried.
the. She dropped.
What? She dropped. I wait for it. She's waiting for her to come back in. Okay, I got a couple more stories before we get to our main thing. Y'all told me tonight just relax, and that's what
Nah,
I'm
Relax.
turn
doing
it
pretty
up, baby.
much.
Turn it up. Turn it
Yeah,
up.
I am not under fire tonight. I am sipping. I am just. I ain't got no. I'm just kind of chilling it out. Ooh, should I put the? I got the Moscato over here working right.
Say, how many bottles?
I actually am just doing. I got 3/4 of a bottle, and that would
Just
take me
three
through
fourths.
3/4
Gotta
of a bottle.
gotta give it through the next 10 minutes.
That'll be good for me. That 3/4 of a bottle. Okay, this story here kind of welcome back, Margo. This story here kind of borders on one of our previous discussions about this individual, and that individual is R. Kelly. We have had some discussions,
Oh,
and
Lord.
Oh
yeah,
Hold,
man.
I don't have
yes,
no drinks. I don't have no drinks.
Yo, I gotta get a refill on this one. I'll be right back.
We're going to talk about the devil
refill.
himself.
Dude, hold on. I'll be right back. I'll be right
Okay,
back.
okay, I'll just chill out for a moment.
No,
Pops is coming back. Look like turn him loose. Like he
everybody's
needs something
like, hold
smooth.
on.
Look,
They
everybody know
both
about
popped
this
out.
one.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
yes. So I'm gonna let all y'all go. Get your drinks. Do whatever you need to do. Me and Margo go. We gonna talk.
Yeah,
we don't
we
be
just gonna keep
talking.
going.
We gonna just go chill out. Wait for everybody to come back. Tianna, you good?
Uh, honestly, I have to go to the bathroom, so yeah, I'm gonna step away for a minute.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I will wait
This is
for your.
this is where you go to a commercial break and do a thing from all your sponsors.
Okay, cool. I actually will do that. Let's go ahead and play the
Look at
commercial.
you.
You know,
Look at you.
Okay, we actually should be back. Y'all hold tight. Okay. It looks like Margo Pops made it back. Pops,
Yeah.
you good?
Oh, I had to get a refill on that one, baby. I don't know. I gotta check my pacemaker real quick.
Oh Lord.
You know what? We probably need to get over here and check this chat as soon as Shannon comes back and her mic comes back in. We'll go ahead and check the chat.
It's about to get lit, baby.
I'm telling you, we can't talk about the devil in peace. I'm telling you.
Shannon, go and hit that chat real quick, and then after the chat, everybody's back. Let's go on and talk about R. Kelly.
So Veronica checked in and she said her week was okay, and it was just everybody saying hi for a minute. And Tianna said, one of the most important lessons I've learned in life is half joke and be serious about opportunities. And if the opportunity turns out to be a possibility, never say no. And Mike said, I agree because they may not be around the next time. And Charles said, are you okay? Take your time, or talking to you, to sip slowly.
Oh. He caught you coughing.
You got instructional video on that one, okay?
I know, right?
Okay. And then, so come on, guys, taking a selfie for the first time is not that complicated.
I know, right?
Well, obviously not. Obviously not.
That is so funny. And when we were all taking pictures, I was like, we're just a bunch of children, to be real. And so we're talking about the last topic, and Charles said, yes, Pops, you're right on target, talking about that man and his mom. And E-Rose, well, I applaud you for your insight. And this story, the most certain warrant a fifth of something, don't you think? Oh, yeah, because we all stepped away. He was like, yeah, bring in something.
Something, man.
That's funny.
Oh, man.
Cause it's gonna be hot up in here.
I'm telling you.
It's gonna be hot and popping.
You know what? Let me ask y'all a question. I'm about to do y'all's whole selfie thing in a few moments. And so it's going to start off with just my picture there real quick. And then I'm going to say, look at all of our selfies. Michael has a really nice animated selfie. I was like, dude, we might have to start off with yours instead of mine, But let me get my pose first so that everybody will know.
Uh-oh. Did you just do the duck lips? You just did the damn duck
Don't
lips.
hurt him. Don't hurt him, girl. Don't hurt him.
Fuck it up. Fuck it up, Danny. Fuck it up.
Oh, she just did the
That's
duck
going to
lips.
be, oh no, the duck lip. My eyes were too droopy. So, okay, Tiana's back. So since Tiana's back, we'll go ahead and jump into the story, and I will do my
yeah.
Okay, let me do my duck lip one more time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay. So as I do this whole thing, as soon as y'all want me to post before I do the R. Kelly? Or as I could do it.
No, come on. We already got everything
shoot it.
going.
What I'll do as y'all are talking about R. Kelly, I'll be posting. You know how I do.
Okay.
Let's
get it on.
Prosecutors allege. Shout out to NEWSBREAK for this story. Prosecutors allege R. Kelly married Aaliyah when she was 15 and pregnant, so she couldn't testify against him. All right. In opening statements of the R. Kelly trial, prosecutors allege that the disgraced star secretly married pregnant Aaliyah when she was just 15, so that she could not be forced to testify against him in court. Now, this case is about a predator, Maria Cruz Melendez, the assistant U.S. attorney, per the New York Times, said this. Melendez added that Kelly used, quote, his fame, his popularity, and a network of people at his disposal to target, groom, and exploit young girls, boys, and women for his own sexual gratification. So the prosecutor later stated that Kelly's alleged relationship with Aaliyah in 1994.
1918.
Sorry,
Everyone's a
1994.
vampire.
All right.
1894.
I know, right?
1776.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's Independence Day. Okay, never mind. My bad.
You also see these very beautiful pictures of Aaliyah here, and it just
What's that? Juneteenth.
grabs your heart. 1994, when he was 27 and she was only 15, Melinda said that prosecutors believe that Kelly orchestrated a plan to marry Aaliyah after finding out about her pregnancy. This was, of course, a huge problem for him, Melinda said. If she was pregnant, that meant that there would be questions. At the very top of the list of questions, who is the father of that baby?
Who's the daddy?
The charges for Kelly include forced labor, kidnapping, sex trafficking, and multiple violations of the Mann Act, which outlaws the transportation of any woman or girl across state lines for immoral purposes. Prosecutors believe that Kelly paid a local official $500 for fake ID for 15-year-old before flying her out to Chicago hotel suite in the middle of the night where he married her. The marriage was annulled the following year. And they said, I like this. Aaliyah, God rest her soul, passed away. This is what Kelly's defense attorney, Nicole Blake, I like she said that part. But then she said, then she asked the jurors to make sure that the defense attorneys provide evidence that she was pregnant. If Mr. Kelly was involved in a crime in 1994, would he be here today? Hell yeah, he'd be here today. And then the judge stopped Becker, telling her to stick to the case. So that's where we are so far. And that whole thing, y'all so funny. I heard popcorn smacking, I heard everything, glasses clanking and everything. Where are we going in this? Because y'all know it was all the way around wrong in that whole situation. Y'all want to take it first?
You know, they got a special place in hell for people like R. Kelly. But you know what? He didn't do it by himself, though. So where everybody else at? It's a team. And it's under the RICO Act and all that other stuff, conspiracy to do all this stuff. Where's everybody? There's a lot of people need to be held accountable. Her parents, his manager, stage crew, everything seen up because everybody knew what was going on. This has been going on for everybody. Everybody in the Black community, everybody knows keep your daughter away from R. Kelly, especially if she going to an R. Kelly concert. You might want to go there with her, especially if she's your pretty little thing. So,
how's your wife?
I mean, it's sad and it's pathetic. And you know what? So he is so talented, and he's so talented to be stooped to this low. I mean, he's got some real issues here too.
Well, it's known, isn't it known fact that and I don't want to say nothing about, but it's known fact that he's undereducated. It's known fact that he has trouble reading. So it's not only the fact that he needs to be prosecuted, Pops, you're right. It's people around him that need to be prosecuted because that if there is something wrong with him here, then where is the people that allow that our moral standpoint that are like, hey, listen, this isn't the correct path. You know what I mean? So like, for example, and I'm not saying like he's special needs or anything like that, but like there'd be special needs kids at school and high school, and like they would act out in ways like touching, like inappropriately and stuff, and it'd be like us or the teacher's responsibility. Like there were other kids in school that would stop them and be like, hey, that's not okay. Like you can't touch other people like that. So if there's something like that going on, where's the moral standpoint of like deflecting and being like, it's not okay for you to do this to these kids. Pops is very correct. Like, where is like the gatekeeper, I guess you would say.
Did anybody see the network productions Surviving R. Kelly? I think I made it through 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw a part of it, and I think after a while I just kind of like, let me leave this alone. I'll come back to it when they decide to show the other part. But I'm like, yeah, all of this is making sense. All the pieces are falling into place. If you're thinking about Age Ain't Nothing But a Number song, I'm like, y'all giving us signals that he doing something he shouldn't be, because she shouldn't be that age singing Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. What did you really think about, lady?
So I'd like to speak on the law side of this, of where the law allowed this to happen, and I think that there needs to be an amendment or a stipulation inside of this law that allows you to marry somebody to prevent them from being called to testify against you, to where if they are underage, that their parents cannot sign off on them getting married in order to circumvent the law.
Yeah. They might want to, if they want to keep the law, they might want to just add something and have like a judge or somebody of official capacity to oversee it. Because I understand what the law is about, but the law can be manipulated to situations like this and to circumvent justice. Because this lady, and she was a child.
Yeah.
And and no one protected her. And that's the same thing. The sad thing about it, no one protected her until it's too late. You know, it's crazy.
You know, one thing that really comes.
A price, man. Everybody got a price. That's all about money. That's the only thing that kept somebody quiet or made somebody do something. You making millions of dollars, like somebody in your crew, you're somebody, or what is the PR person or somebody supposed to be like, hey, this is bad for business, bad for publicity, or whatever the case may be, man. But well,
let me tell you what I think about. I mean, every time I think about the whole Surviving R. Kelly, where there were people who were on these teams who watched all this, and it was very sad to hear the group detailing them seeing the act on the bus between R. Kelly and Aaliyah. Yeah. That was very sad listening to that, because they all said how it made them feel. Like it just kind of took their breath away. But it took their breath away. But why didn't they go back? If it was like,
why didn't they say something?
Why not even say something? I want to go up and whip his ass. I mean,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this presents like a whole nother question of like, are we just focusing on an individual instead of looking at the industry as a whole? Because you've got to think, we have the stuff at Nickelodeon that was going on. We have the stuff with Disney that was going on. You know, every other major network in music industry has talked about how either someone's been taking advantage of children or have been taken advantage of as for themselves. So, I mean, yeah, convict the individual, but I'm saying, is this just, you know, like holding a piece of candy in front of us and being like, oh, we'll hold him accountable instead of holding looking at the entire industry as a whole under a microscope.
You're absolutely right. Because if we don't protect our children, we're not protecting our future. They are the future. When I'm running around, you know, kicking wheelies on a wheelchair, you know, they're going to be running the country. And we got to need to know that if they've been used and abused, then they're not going to be in the right mindset to run a country, to run the local government, to run a business or anything like that. They're going to come in with a skewed type of mentality, and we're going to have a crazy world if we don't check this immediately right now.
I just see it as, you know, and I understand that we in 2021, but back in the day, man, you know, this type of stuff was allowed. It was a norm in the culture and the society back then, to where, you know, men were marrying these women you know, as early as 13, 14. A woman was considered, you know, ready to have kids as soon as she had her first cycle and things like that. And all this stuff was okay. And as society, you know, as time moved forward, if you will, um, you know, somebody somewhere, a group of people said, no, this is wrong, this ain't right, and this, that, and the other, and then the law has changed. And when y'all talk about that one law that circumvents stuff, I don't think it necessarily circumvents any. People use it because it's a loophole. It was made a law for some specific reason at whatever point in time. But you know, you got folks and lawyers to get paid to find loopholes, and so they find a loophole, and people do these things. I would say this: if they can issue a guardian ad litem for a child when they're going through a custody battle or something like that, right, between mama and daddy, I'm saying this because those are two adults. If they can assign a child a guardian ad litem for that, then when a child is going in between two adults, the parents and or the person to be married, then a guardian ad litem should be assigned at that point because their sole purpose is for what's best for the child. So that's kind of like, I guess, if there's going to be any type of reform or anything like that, that, you know, if you're going to do it, you know, for a custody battle to get my damn money, you can do it for somebody that's going through something like that. I mean, you know, just, you know.
Hey, Mike for president. That is a great idea. Hey, but to chime back on why kids were marrying young back in the day, people used to didn't live that long. I mean, it was a very rare person that lived to like their 30s and 40s and stuff like that back in the day.
It was pretty recent too. Like, I mean,
well, I'm talking about to give the whole picture of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about recently now. We're in a whole different thing. Now the average age is living to like 84 and stuff like that. Now we have the chance, because our society has matured to a certain level and our medical knowledge and the way we eat food and what we eat, and we're just clean. The people were dirty back in the day. They didn't clean their hands. They just eat and stuff like that. Dysentery. They get a cut. They got gangrene and stuff the next day because they didn't take their behind to the doctor or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But now there's no excuse. As of now, right now, and that idea that you said, Mike, is spot on. Definitely spot on. But we got to protect our kids, bottom line.
Do we want to hit that chat?
Yeah, go hit the chat room one more time before I go to the next story.
So it's been Charles Jefferson, and he goes, of course, there were accessory involved here. Get real. And he said again, in this case, there is no excuse for incompetency for his actions. Sorry, you know, I'll be switching around some letters.
I read it 5 times before I mentioned it.
Okay. Well, you know what, y'all? Go ahead. You got to comment?
No, I was just saying that's just a touchy subject, man. You know what I mean? That's a touchy subject, and you get to talking about it, and anybody, and I feel like the reason it's a touchy subject because if I don't know the percentages and I don't have them, but I'm just saying, everybody got a story, everybody got a past, and I think it's a touchy subject for a lot of people simply because they probably themselves went through something like that, and there was no one there to protect them. So this, like stuff like this, don't kind of get no. We don't one side of the spectrum or the other. You know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of people understand what them people was going through. People like Leo or somebody else, and you know, you start tapping into memories and shit like that, and people don't have no tolerance for it. Back then, you didn't have no cameras and phones and recorders and stuff like that. And now when you fast forward into the information age, you know what I'm saying? Shit, once it's out there, it's out there. And if somebody dig hard enough, they probably can find something on your ass. You know, so
let me share you like a quick statistics between 2015, at least 200,000 minors were legally married in the United States. 80% of these marriages were between minors and adults. About 5% of these minors were aged 15 years or younger. That's crazy.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to say this. Okay. I'm very careful about the words that I choose on this particular subject. Not only did he have the people, his team that were there, the people, there was a team of people that would actually help lure
Oh yeah.
girls and stuff and all too.
Mhm. Oh
Like I
yeah.
said, girls, boys, and all that. But there was also an industry. There was an industry that knew who he was, and they knew what was going on.
Mhm.
And sometimes when you find a person's weak spot, their Achilles heel, they also use that.
To manipulate them.
And yes,
Mhm.
and you can control and you can manipulate someone if you know their weakness. And that was a part of the situation allegedly as well. So when that blame gets out there, there's a lot of individuals that were controlling, because how do you go through different trials and things that are right out there in the open and you keep getting off, it's excused if you don't have people up high.
So he was the most blatant, so he was held responsible.
Well, you know what? No clean hands in this situation. No clean hands.
Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying? You can't get yourself out of these trials. Someone of our level would not have the exact same experience, and be able to escape. There was him, I'm really dipping and dodging.
Yeah, certain people are wearing robes. Yeah, I got you.
Industry folks with large pockets and,
Oh, yeah. Well, like Michael was saying, it's about money at the end of the day.
Right.
I mean, absolutely.
He was a money maker for those individuals.
Well, a lot of people.
Right. So, all right.
We better tip your toe on it, definitely.
But I will say, like, speaking on a survivor tip, I think it's really important that we talk about stories like this, because it's important that people know that there's a safe space to like come out and talk about it.
Right.
So as much as you want to tiptoe around subjects like this, I think it's really important to still be very vocal about it.
Right.
And let it not be another one happen. That's the thing. We might not cannot change the past, but we definitely can have a hand on what's going to go down in the future.
Exactly.
And let everybody learn from it, and other people be protected and watch out from it.
Exactly. Okay, y'all. I am gonna. This next story is a bit of a trip. Roll with me here. We'll get through it together.
So the last one was light. This one was right. I got you.
I need to go get some more. My cup is not full. Yeah, I need to go get some more.
Art Imitates Life is sponsored by. That's what that sounds like. Sound like you need to run another commercial and people go get a refill. You know what I'm saying?
I'm afraid to go to commercial again because y'all come back. It might be. Oh my God! This was going to be entertaining in a way.
How spiked is the tea on this one?
This one's pretty damn spiked. It's cayenne pepper. And
maybe some jalapeno in there.
So we get ready to sweat. Then we get ready to sweat. Got a little cayenne in there.
Well, just check this out and ask yourself what would you do if this happened to you.
Okay.
Woman on a date. Oh, first of all, shout out to the NewYorkPost.com for the story. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Woman on a date, stunned when a stranger passes her a note telling her to run.
What?
Run.
Okay.
Huh? Okay.
Yes.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Look, I ain't asking no question. I'm running.
I like, he knows something I don't know. He's finna do something.
I'm gone.
I bet you saw him put something.
You know what? If somebody gave me a note like that, I would have kicked their butt.
but listen, let's go through the story real quick and just tell me
Oh
what
yeah,
you think.
go ahead. I'm sorry, because you didn't threaten me like that.
You done
I'm just
threatened.
gonna read you the story. I'll read the story and then you tell me what you think about it, okay?
Okay. We get ahead of
He
ourselves.
tried this. Okay, you ready? He tried to save the date. A woman's date night in Virginia took a wild turn when a stranger passed her a note telling her to run from her companion because of too many red flags.
Oh, okay.
Her description of the bizarre warning amassed thousands of likes on Twitter before the gal locked her account. This is according to the Daily Mail. The now hidden tweet posted over the weekend by user Hadia S recounted how the rendezvous started innocently, enough as Hadia joined a man for a coffee date. However, when her date got up to go to the bathroom, the gay guy sitting behind her passed her a note scribbled on the back of a CVS receipt. This is what the woman recalled.
So he
And
just passed it. He's like, here. The log. So he's like, here.
This is off the chain. Accompanying photo shows the message which cautioned. It is, I see the note here. It says, too many red flags. Run. Be safe. So Rhode Island incident had waves on Twitter, and many users are imploring Hadia for divulging more details on the date, specifically with regard to the red flags in question. Okay, and so she, this is kind of long. I don't want to get too far in. I want to ask you all some questions, and then I need to read more.
I'll take the word for it. He got a little insight on some key words and note he might have heard during the conversation, and just like, yep, red flag, red flag, red flag. Okay, when he breaks for it, I gotta tell her something.
Like put something in her drink or something like that, or like saw him put a knife in his boot or something. I don't know.
Oh, wait a minute. Y'all might want this. Y'all might want this tea. Hadia's since obliged in a series of follow-up tweets. One of the warning signs she recounted was that the two didn't see eye to eye on a recent scandal involving rapper DaBaby, who sparked outrage earlier this month over homophobic remarks. Although she didn't specify which side she took on the issue. Another involved the mystery man's alleged support of Kevin Samuels, a YouTube.
Oh, he cool.
Oh no! Urged the male follow the man, misogynist, even violent comments towards women. Despite recognizing the red flags early on, Hadia said that she ultimately decided against aborting the date, and she wanted to debate Mr. Wrong on the issues that they disagreed on. She recognized that her inaction didn't sit well with her note-passing protector, joking in a subsequent tweet, I'm sure my guardian angel was exhausted and was like, bitch, leave. So what do y'all think?
Look, dude need to mind his business. I thought he said some kind of major thing. Like, some people like to have an argument or debate sometimes. Sometimes that spikes up everything else.
No.
I mean, as that looking at those what you just said as danger signs, I think he's like overreacted personally. Overreacted. Being aggressive.
The thing over the baby, that wouldn't have bothered me. But if he was a Kevin Samuels supporter, I might have gotten up.
So what I'm hearing y'all say,
but a lot of ladies like Kevin Samuels. Everybody.
So what I'm hearing y'all say, this man,
just because you do.
This man and this woman went on a date. He invited her on a date, took her out to eat, and they sitting down somewhere at a restaurant, looking across the table from each other, eating
and yelling. They just yelling and debating at each other. Hell no.
Not yelling. Who said they was yelling?
They were getting into back and forth to the point where they got somebody's attention.
Yeah.
Okay, so they was having a debate about something. They were very passionate. Each one of them were passionate on their point of view. As they were exchanging meaningful conversation in words of dialogue. They were passionate about their stance on their subject, and it just so happened to get a little bit louder than normal for the situation or the mood. And somebody knows he ain't like a mug, wanted to dive in and saw an opportunity because he wanted to try to rescue the lady and slide her a note and say run. Probably had his phone number on there. I give him credit, give him A for effort, and told her to run. And then he was gonna be like, hey, I seen some red flags. Let's me and you go in there and eat. And
You know what I don't have?
Wasn't he gay? Wasn't it mentioned that he was gay?
Yeah,
So
he
your
was
argument
gay.
just fell to shit. He didn't have a physical motive other than
He knows his hell.
bonds.
Oh, well then
He knows his hell.
Then that was just like some old gossiping ass, cackling ass crew of people that like to gossip and cackle. That's what that was.
There was some inside.
Look, there's many heated. Look, there's
I had to
many
catch
heated.
myself before I started the fire.
There's many heated conversations between men and women, and actuality, it ends up turning them in, and then they go and sleep together. I mean, it happens all the time.
That
Passion.
doesn't mean she can't run after they sleep together.
Yeah, that's true. But the thing is, when somebody looking outside in a conversation, they bring their own little idiosyncrasies and stuff into the thing. It might not have nothing to do with the dialogue that's going on right there. I mean, I know that Kevin Samuel is not liked by a few ladies on the panel here, but that shouldn't be a make or breaker type of thing. Like this guy is talking about Kevin Samuel, and all of a sudden that it's a kill the deal type of scenario.
Oh, you like Kevin Samuels? I don't want you on this date no more. Bye. Like,
I mean, that's the problem, right? The beautiful thing I do like, and I don't agree with everything Cameron says anyway, but the beautiful thing he is doing is that there is a dialogue, and there are some conversations that are happening right now between Black men and Black women that weren't coming to the forefront before this. And that's what I got to say.
I'm just going to say it this way. I really don't believe, when it comes down to it, that I have to agree with everything with my date or anything like that. I really don't. I like a spirited conversation. I like a man who's strong, who can't stand up to me, because I don't like a man that can run over and run up and down his back. I don't like that at all. But there are some red flags that I would pay attention to.
Daddy. Yes.
No.
But you know what?
I don't want someone
but through the conversation, you might win them over to your view of thinking. See, if we don't have the conversation, go ahead.
Let me make my point real quick. Let me make my point real quick here.
Yeah, they do wild side.
It's the point. This. What the hell was my point? Oh, when it comes to the whole
Put that bottle down.
I don't expect anybody to be just like me or anything like that, but there are some issues that I am going to watch you a little carefully if you like an individual who is misogynistic, like a Kevin Samuels. You are going to raise a flag for me. And I am going to be having my eyes on you a little bit more and saying, what is it? And by the way, this is a little weird. I just want to give you all this update. I thought that we had the petition from change.org for 25,000 signatures. I see one here for, this is 35,000. It's the same one. And actually, it is now 29,536 people have signed. So we are just on just a little over 5,000 signatures still needed. So I don't know what is going to happen on that situation. I have absolutely no idea, but you do have a number of people that are saying that this misogynistic character needs to go. So, like it, love it, or hate it.
I think that's funny as hell, man.
Why?
I think that's funny as hell. I think that you have a constitution that everybody wants to abide by. You have a First Amendment right to say what you want to say. and it's been going on for a long time. And I understand people want to do change, but somebody want to express themselves and talk about whatever the hell they want to talk about. And because it's on a social media platform where it gets thousands and thousands of views, it's considered bullying or uh, whatever somebody's
I have
belief
an
is.
answer
And
for this.
I'm talking about a whole
I do too.
broad thing. But I just think that's funny that in one instance, somebody is basically, in their mind, their opinion, and they from their viewpoint, calling people out and calling people out and just flipping the script. And then somebody get on there and be like, oh, that's wrong, and they didn't have to do them like that. Why do I have to change my way of what I'm saying, or why should I have to say it in a nicer way to appease one person or two people when it's a whole
29,000.
society, when it's a whole society or culture that's out there that do it and been doing it? Not to say that it's right or wrong, but then you got the right to say what you want to say. Now, understanding the situation, each and every one of you that's on here right now, if you feel and believe something and you want to speak your mind, you're going to want to speak it without being punished for it, because you have that right.
I don't know. I like to be punished.
So why go after somebody for having a platform on their platform, speaking to people that volunteer to call in and get handled the way that they see this person get handled? And then it's just publicized. And so now everybody wants to cancel this guy. Wendy Williams do her thing and got plenty of followers, but ain't nobody signing no positions for her.
Oh, Wendy is in a little hot water. I think.
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
I talk
yeah.
about
That's
it?
what I'm saying.
Yes.
She's
They
dry.
signing positions for her right now. They got a whole thing going on. Or is she part of that
I don't know
other
what
stuff?
petition, but she did get her ass handed to her, and I think she had a fear just a couple weeks ago. The story was out, and then the story disappeared because Wendy's lips got a little loose on one of her
Yeah,
stories, and she
talked a
had a
lot.
bunch of people come after her.
So
And
then there is no such thing as freedom of speech. Then the whole
okay,
Constitution is
let's
jacked up.
Tianna, you make your point, and then I got something to say on that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Constitution does give you the freedom to say whatever you want,
Right.
but it does not give you the authority to say it to whomever you want to say it to. People have the right to say no, and on the flip side of that, legally, whatever platform that you are agreed to broadcast on has the final say on whether you can
Oh
or
yeah.
cannot broadcast. So if you want true freedom of speech, create your own broadcasting system and you can say whatever you want.
You're right. You're
Right.
right.
Absolutely. You're
I'm gonna say
100% right. You can't call fire in a crowded building, and your freedom
Right.
of speech. There are limitations to your freedom of speech, and people
Then,
have to realize
then
that.
they need to readdress the term freedom, because then it ain't
No,
100%
well, you
clearly
can't
stated.
have freedom inside my house. You understand what I'm saying?
You
I
are
totally,
free to
And,
speak,
I,
but you're not free of
I
consequence.
totally understand it, but I'm just saying,
and that's what
You
YouTube is
can't
saying, or
scream
the
all
people
that.
with the different platforms
right.
is saying. You can be free, but you can be free on somebody else's platform. You go free to be on Instagram. You can be free on that one or this one. And that's what the petitions is. If the petitions go through, then they can shut them down. It's their every right to shut them down on that platform because they own the platform. But
okay.
he has the opportunity to open up his own website
Right.
and do his own thing,
Yes,
and they
own
can't do
website.
nothing about that.
And I'm saying it, and I'm saying that for anybody. So if it was, the only reason I use them too is because I know that Wendy Williams getting people business, and apparently some
Oh, she
I'm
stays
missing a
people
couple
business.
of episodes or some
I don't watch it.
newsprints or something. But I'm only saying that, like, and I totally get certain aspects, but what I'm saying, like, when they start looking at it, like I think I asked this question before: who's to say right is right, wrong is wrong? Because 100 people said this against this one person. Well, them 100 people got the advantage because the many is more than the one. So, but how come that one person can't be right and them 100 people wrong? And that's kind of how the world works. It's more of us, less of you. So we're gonna make this little thing, pass it into law, make some bills, and this is gonna be it. But who's to say that they're right in the first place?
I mean,
Let me
you're
tell you.
absolutely right. I mean, we can look
Let
at
me-
slavery and say that, Anyway, go ahead.
Let me address something that I just put in the chat with you all for the audience. I won't be totally transparent. This platform that we're on now of YouTube, What I said this about Kevin Samuels about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I said there are YouTube rules and regulations.
Yep, you did.
They say that we must adhere to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we're not to, be ugly or discriminatory or offensive, that's the word, to any people in our programs. And the things that are said, there are a lot of things that described as offensive in that particular thing. So whether I like it or not, there are rules to these platforms that we must adhere to. Now, what I put into the private chat just now, I spoke about 3 and 5 last week. And this week, with my interview with Miss Robbie yesterday, I think it might have been the title of her song, which I'll put it in the chat, which I got the same thing again. How in all hell did I get that? And I didn't offend a person.
Yeah,
So
we
you
ain't got to
see what I'm
complain or
saying?
anything.
Right. I didn't offend a person at all, but I got that.
You know, I think it is a backlash from platforms like Kevin Samuels that they didn't nip that in the bud when it first happened. So to be a preventive measure, like a preventive strike against up and coming platforms or up and coming shows, they're cutting you at the knees from the get.
Instead of being reactive, they're trying to be proactive, but they're being too proactive. They're pro-proactive.
They're being extra.
Proactive.
Well, they're just being proactive. I mean, that's all. I mean, you don't have to put.
But the thing is, he's still on air. And folks like myself, we getting kicked in the ass
for him. Basically,
exactly.
It's not right,
man. So the man that was being nosy.
that man.
The man that was trying to be a big brother.
You know what I'm saying? No. You're right. So you know what? Now we just said this, right? We just said this, and I'm gonna go back and correct it because, like, I always, play devil's advocate because I try to see both sides so I can have a valid point if this conversation ever comes up again. But what I'm getting ready to say is, we just got finished saying that somebody should say something when they see the signs or when they see something. When we was talking about the last subject, the R&B singer. There's people who are around. People should say something. I believe they call that bystander intervention is what they called it. So, I go back because I was playing devil's advocate. But in some cases, if you see something, if you know something, you say something, and it's up to that person once you say something to either take heed or continue. And then, other training tells you that if they under the influence, then you need to kind of stick around and make sure they're safe. But somebody was trying to do the right thing, and
someone was trying to be a big brother.
Well, this is the thing also, that these platforms have benefited on all the outrageousness, all the drama, and all this stuff. And they've got all these people, they got all these eyes, they got all these subscriberships now. And now all of a sudden that they want to be politically correct, but they made it and they got their start with all this political incorrectness.
I have a question because
that's like that OnlyFans thing is coming out.
What is the definition of political correct?
I want to say,
what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when the majority looks against a situation, then they're gonna go to that majority. Or if there's a group of people that it offend, then all of a sudden they're gonna go to that, and then they're gonna try to shut it down. But it was a lot of things that were already,
That wasn't the question. What is political correctness?
Political correctness is defined by the majority of the people who feel that this issue is right or wrong.
That's what I was just saying. See,
and it changes from year to year to generation. So So there's no
political correctness is been rebranded from common decency to be demonized and used as a weapon. So when you say I have to be politically correct, you're really saying I have to be a decent person and I don't like it.
not necessarily. Not necessarily. It could also mean that I don't want to be confrontational. See, because I can be confrontational and make you feel uneasy, but I'm telling that 100% truth.
So, I mean, you can play with the terms, but I mean, I think I just spoke on that when I said, how come 100 people are right and one person is wrong, and how come you can't flip it to where the one person is right and other people are wrong? But it's one person or a couple of people who feel like something should be or shouldn't be. And then they're going to tell the rest of the world that this is what it is, make a law about it, or make it, legal or illegal to do something. And now the misinterpretation of the Constitution of what's freedom of speech is, because there are stipulations.
I mean, you can look at like the law in 1681 where a black man couldn't marry a white woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was politically correct at that time. But now it's not. So political correctness can change from generation to generation to generation. So what is politically correct today could be not acceptable tomorrow.
And that's the inconsistency or consistency, whichever way you look at it.
Well, the consistency is political correctness is always changing. That's the consistency.
Yeah.
So, at the end of this one, it looks like I still just.
Because it is a funny game, man. It is a funny game. It's weird. I'm sorry, Tanya. I mean, it is when you look at all of that, man. It's confusing, and hell, we can't even get our own, democracy and constitution and law books and everything. Hell, we still got laws that's way the hell outdated and ain't been revisited to change nothing. And it actually does more harm than help, depending on who's the one in trouble. So, I mean,
we got history books are not even correct, and they don't want to change those.
But anyway, I'm sorry, Tanya, I interrupted.
By the victor.
Hey, you're fine, because really I'm just listening to y'all. I'm like this. I have my views according to what happened with me, and I'm looking at that and saying that ain't fair at all.
The person who did that felt like they was doing a solid to help somebody avoid signs that maybe they had seen or have experienced themselves, and they was like, pack your shit and get the hell on. Y'all should not be in public on no damn date going at it when y'all supposed to be trying to convince each other that y'all like each other.
Right, I understand. But I'm gonna say this. I'm actually getting on Facebook, doing our post on Facebook as I was talking to y'all. I'll do that in a minute. But I really believe that if somebody passed me a note, which is the original part of that story, somebody passed me a note, I might just consider that they might know something that I don't know. I'm a little scary. Mm-hmm. They might know this person from another life. And if they tell me to run, I might just run.
Just gonna get up and take off, huh? Scare the hell out of everybody.
I've seen situations where that turned on the person in the note that I've seen people get cussed out, but like say mind your F business, you know what I'm saying? From that female that they passed the note to. It happens with married couples like all the time. You ever had you heard where the cop comes there and the guy's beating up on the wife or something, and then the cop try to apprehend the husband, and then all of a sudden the wife and he fighting the wife and the husband.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. I mean, I just think about there's just so much craziness out there, and I ain't here for it, and I ain't getting into nothing. So I'm going to be like Cedric the Entertainer on the Kings of Comedy, where he said that black people take off running, and they don't even know why they're running, and then they get where they're going. They're like, oh, they almost got us. That's gonna be me.
Like they
We had many reasons to run, and still do, unfortunately.
Okay, y'all. That's it for Who Spiked the Tea. That's a long one tonight. We're going
that
to
was
living
long.
room. Y'all I know. Y'all hang on. Let's go.
Yeah.
Welcome to the actual living room. You know, we've been talking tonight about on Who Spiked the Tea. We got into so many things. It took us a long time to get to the meat and potatoes. So that only means to me that y'all about to kill it here on the living room. Y'all about to go in. So tonight's topic is, can the 5 love languages transform a relationship? Now, before I get into the 5 love languages, what they are, Michael, this was your idea. So you know how I like to know what was the whole thing. Shannon got me wanting to do that now.
Trying to throw you under the bus, man. She's trying to throw you on the bus, Mike. Wait, Michael. Let me pass you this note real quick.
You gotta hold it up.
What was on your mind when you said this might be a good topic?
I mean, man, look, I just, be freestyling, you know what I'm saying, coming off the dome. No, but you said, when we was talking, you was like, looking for ideas, and I'm just sitting here. To be honest, I think we was having a conversation about, the 5 love languages of the helping some people that's going through some things right now with their significant other. You know what I'm saying? As far as, divorces and breakups and stuff like that. And, everybody initially their response is, man, have y'all done this or have y'all tried this? And, you start looking for ways to try to bring them folks together. And really, man, you just got some nasty folks out there. And the best thing might be to separate. But when you're going through those things of, man, I did this, I gave my all, I tried to do this, I took away stress, I took away worries, and I still got done like that. And I'm talking about on both sides of the spectrum here, right? Man, well, one side of the couple, the relationship, and the other side, right?
Yeah.
And then, people start trying to offer that advice, did y'all go to counseling? Did y'all talk to a chaplain? Did y'all do this and you do that? And then sometimes, you get little nuggets out of magazine articles and stuff like that. And then as of late, this has been the hot topic. I don't know, am I allowed to show the book?
Yeah, you should be able to show the book. Just tell the whole information about it.
Right. At least this book right here is the one that I got, you know what I'm saying? And I can't tell, I can see the authors on here. So this is a military edition. Right.
Okay.
So, and when you look at that, man, you get some good stuff out of there. That's pretty much where it came from. And then that just happened to be on my mind, I guess. And knowing that everybody want a little love. Everybody looking for a little love. And how do you do that? How do you make that work though? Like when people having them issues and you start trying to help somebody or give people advice, once we get into this, I don't want to ruin it. That's why I'm kind of beating around the bush here, but I don't want to ruin it because I don't know what you got to say next. But once you start getting into what this means and some of the way that they describe things, I think it has some value to it.
Go ahead, Bernard.
I mean, absolutely. I went to marriage counseling, and that was the book that they pulled out for me. And really, basically, what it's just saying, in a nutshell, that everybody communicates differently, right. And that you need to know that you have a way of communicating that might be possibly not the same love language as the person that you in love with. And that you need to, since you guys going to be in a committed relationship, then you guys need to know with each other and give each other what they need out of that relationship. And I think it's a great foundation for like communication, because once you get this language together, then a whole lot, it opens up the dialogue to a lot of other deeper and deeper communication. And then you guys can become one in case of in situation of marriage or committed relationship.
Right. Okay. Well, you know what I need to do here? I need to pause a second and tell people what the 5 love languages are. That way we can clue them in, the audience in with us.
Yes. I was about to say,
Okay.
we talking around, but like to those who may not have be familiar with the topic or the subject or read the book or know what they are, you would have to let them know what's what. With a small little explanation.
Wait. Before you do it, everybody got to write their love language on a piece of paper.
You know what I'm saying? You got to go through and take your lip survey. You know what I'm saying?
And display it before, like everybody got a different love language. I don't know what
I really should have pulled the quiz, and then maybe I'll see about doing that before we get out of here, okay? All right, let's talk about the love language. Number 1 is words of affirmation. Okay, and I'm getting this here from psychologytoday.com. That's where I decided to take this information from. Okay, ask yourself, how do you feel when you hear your partner offer encouraging, positive, and affirming words and compliments? For example, your partner congratulates you, tells you, great job, tells you that you look attractive, or thanks for something, And if these things make you feel the most loved and happy, words of affirmation may be your primary love language, okay? So, love language number 2, acts of service. Ask yourself, how do you feel when your partner helps you with tasks that reduce your burden or ease your stress? For example, your partner does a chore for you, runs an errand for you, takes care of something without having to be asked. If these things make you feel most loved and happier, acts of service may be your primary love language. Number 3, receiving gifts. Love language number 3, receiving gifts. Ask yourself, how do you feel when your partner gets you thoughtful or extravagant gifts? For example, you get a gift or a small treat from your partner that tells you that he or she is thinking about you. If these things make you feel most loved and happy, receiving gifts may be your primary love language. Love language number 4, quality time. One of my favorites. Ask yourself, how do you feel when your partner gives you their undivided attention and you engage in meaningful conversation or activities? Examples. You and your partner have a date night, go on a trip together, or have a deep conversation. If these things make you feel most loved and happy, quality time may be your primary love language. And then number 5, love language number 5 is physical touch. Ask yourself, how do you feel when your partner shows you affection through touch? You and your partner hold hands, kiss, hug, or sit and lay close together. If these things make you feel most loved and happy, physical touch, baby, your primary love language.
What if you need all 5?
I know. I like all 5, but
I mean, some people have more. Some people can have a combination too. It doesn't have to just be one.
Right.
Yeah. Because I like 1 and 3 and 5. But I love the quality time. I do. I like 1, 3, and 5. But
so if you had to pick one though out of the 3, which one would be the dominant one?
It depends on whether or not the person is around me or not. Because quality times could still be good. I love quality time. It could still be good even if it's a virtual date night or whatever. Just spend time talking to me and spending some time with me.
Video chat and fall asleep,
Yeah.
see somebody slobbering and snoring, and then wake up and still be
Yeah.
looking at them like this.
You
Yeah, like,
fell asleep. Did you fall asleep? So then you mad the next day, fell asleep too fast.
you hang up
just the
first.
whole
No, you
thing.
hang up. No, you hang
Nah.
up. No, I'm not gonna hang up till you
Yo,
hang
I'm
up.
the worst about the hanging up thing because I have an anxiety, and my anxiety prevents me from being able to hang up because there's this fear that they're getting ready to say something, and I'm gonna hang up on them mid word, and it's like,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
no,
do that to
you
you
hang
just
up.
to mess with you, man. Be like that. Okay,
Yeah.
The game people play. The game people play.
Shannon said Shannon gonna be bad, baby. Do that.
Anytime.
Shannon, you gotta
See,
know,
that is
I
one of
have a
my
dominant
favorite
side.
songs.
Oh, yeah,
Quality
you
Time by High
Yeah.
Five. That is my
Telling you.
favorite song. And I was
So,
dating
I will tell you one of the things I learned from participating, in these courses and going through this book is, they call them emotional love tanks, and each love language serves as an the emotional love tank for each individual. So when you take the little survey or questionnaire and you find out what your love language is, that is your love language, the thing that you like happening or done to you, or that you like to read. I know for me, I am a acts of service kind of guy. I mean, that's what I do. My love language is physical touch. So your love language basis how you want to be loved and the way you love someone else or show your love for someone else, two totally different things. That was the eye opener for me, because you always hear, the golden rule: do unto others as you want others to do unto you. So you're displaying and showcasing love to your partner of how you want to be loved and not necessarily how they want to be loved. Like Pop said earlier when he was explaining the whole thing initially. Then turning around, realizing, oh snap, I'm sitting here doing this, thinking that I'm feeling they love tank when they love tank ain't even nowhere. I ain't even in the ballpark.
You ain't even in the ballpark.
You end up doing this based off of how he said y'all on two different wavelengths when it comes to how you want to be loved. That's what I found out, and it took me a long ass time. And if I'd have had this book a long time ago, it'd be a lot more focused.
Well, I mean, how many?
Only like trying to find like how you want to be loved. It's also making sure that your partner isn't reflecting how they feel that they should be loving you, as opposed to how you actually want to be
Right.
loved. Like that's a huge difference too. That's what ends up causing a lot of people to butt heads. Is like one partner is like, well, you should want to be loved like this, and then the other partner is like, well, that's not.
Trying to impose, yeah.
And see, that's the time you have to really, like, in a confrontation or disagreement, who's going to be the adult of the relationship and sit back and say and think and ask the question, well, what do you want? What can I do to make things better? What do you need? And those questions, a lot of times what will happen is that since we have a certain love language, see, it's my love language is touch, but her love language is words of affirmation. She can tell me she love me, but you don't touch me, girl. I need you to touch me. I ain't talking about sexual. Just touch me when you're walking by me. Bump me when you're coming through the kitchen. Rub that rubber tub on me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not speaking her. I'm not speaking
Knock me down
love.
when you come through the door.
Right. I'm not speaking her love language. And what you said, the thing about don't love a person like you want them to love you. Love the person the way they want to be loved. And that's taking it to another level, because that's what they need. And if you're in that relationship, that's the only person they're looking for. They're only looking for you. You are their source of that in this, because that's why you're together, If you're not together, then you need to keep on moving on,
So that's that's why like when people try to sit here and be like, oh, it's the personality and I'm not shallow. No, man, what got you there is number one, first and foremost, is some type of physical attraction. Unless you work unless you work together and you are able to see that person in work, and then when y'all finally do talk, bells and whistles go off. But initially, it's some form of physical attraction, and then y'all get together and y'all in the goo gaga phase, and y'all trying to impress each other. And then when you actually call yourself,
you know what I'm saying? That starts to fade. When it fades, you get to the truth.
Right, and then start falling in love or whatever. Now you're two people from two different backgrounds, two different walks of life, trying to figure out how to gel. You know what I mean? And then depending on whatever you're bringing into that relationship, either your goodness and your good and your bad. And when y'all get there and try to figure each other out, you're learning. And I will admit, for a long time, hell, I ain't what the hell is love? I thought I was in love. I don't know love. I don't know how to love. You know what I'm saying? I know what I saw. I know what I like. I know what I read about. But as far as application, I didn't know what the hell that was. Trial and error was my application. And then you learn from being, heartbroken, time and time again. And then you start, putting up your wall, protecting yourself and going through the whole cycle all over again. And, reading is fundamental. So when you look at that, I will say this: you can read this all you want and then try to apply it, but you're gonna be going up what they call it, it's Schitt's Creek without a paddle, because
that's called Mount Motherfucker.
Right.
I like that. 20 minutes, aren't we?
Yeah, we're past that.
Yeah, we're past that.
Oh, my bad. If your partner don't read this,
beginning or the end.
Okay, if your partner don't read this, right, then it's like it's pointless, because you can try to apply whatever this stuff is, and if they don't know that you're trying, they don't know how to receive it or know what signs to look for to be like, oh my goodness, he's trying this now. You know what I mean? So it makes I would recommend that if you do this and whoever you look at it, you got to try to at least do it with your partner so y'all on the same page.
I mean, you can do that. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let's talk about some things. If you're going to examine, and let's go back to like the subject matter of like, can it transform a relationship? And the reason why I ask is that there's some people, and I might be one of those people too. You get into these light zones, whatever you want to call them. Okay, they might get into something with somebody, and you don't think about, like when Michael told me about the 5 love languages, I didn't know anything about them, right? I was like, really? And so I had to go and see about the whole thing. And so when I looked at it, it made me look at people that I've dated, and I said, what went wrong here? What's gone wrong there? And I wonder, I wish that I would have had more information to come together at different times. So do you, first of all, in a general sense, feel like a relationship, let's say a relationship that's in trouble, that it can be transformed, by examining that there's different ways of the relating to love? And I stepped out for a minute. You might have already answer this, but give me an example. Idea of what you feel like.
Absolutely. For somebody to understand you, you have to seek to understand them first. See, a lot of times when we're in a relationship, we're so busy, we're not even listening to that person. What we're listening to is we're listening for that person to take a breath. And when they take a breath, we're on defensive mode. And we're saying our part of the conversation, how we feel, what they should do right, and what we've been doing wrong, what we be doing right, and we need somebody to, I need somebody to work with me. But instead of like really listening, and if you really care about that person, you really love, and you're and your heart in the right place, when someone tells you they love you and they just want you, I just want you to hold my hand. I just want you to rub my feet. I just need you to touch me. And you see, because I've been in that conversation where you'll see that person, each one will be crying, but they're crying for a different reason. Because for the first time in their existence, they understand that, oh, I need to be doing what my lover wants me to do versus just looking from my selfish viewpoint, because we come in selfish when we come, because we're two different people. We have two separate lives. And so what you're trying to do is you're trying to blend two lives together, but you think differently. And until you know how that person thinks and they know how you think, then you know where to kind of meet in the middle and give them what they want and give them what you're doing. And you can't help but, if if your man gives you what you want, if that doesn't break you down and want you to love him even a little bit more, then I think that's a problem. And vice versa, same for the guys. If a woman breaks down and says she'll give you everything you want, and she's going to do and try to be more of that woman that you want her with the way you want, how can you not have your heart touched by that? I mean, unless you're just a piece of ice or something.
Right.
I am ice.
Wait a minute.
Wild side ice.
I would say, go ahead. Shannon, you about to say
Hold
something?
on, I'm having.
Go ahead, you got it.
Difficulties over here. I'm trying real hard. My computer's trying to overheat and explode on me. Okay.
Don't let that happen.
But do you want to change somebody else to fit you, or do you want to find someone who already fits you? And then it's
not about that. It's about adjusting to the situation. You're like, change. People change. And look at me say, if you're gonna be married, you're gonna have to change. Period. You can't be like 100% all you again. If you're gonna be in a relationship, and the thing is, the point is that the important is based on the relationship, not the individuality. See, if you want to be individual and don't want to change, you don't need to be in a relationship, as far as I'm concerned.
I feel like you should bend and blend.
Yeah.
When you are in something, if the person means something to you.
I think Margo has something to say.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it on a different level, or a spiritual level. I think from the beginning, you do need to know yourself and love yourself enough. But I would say, with the principles that's listed in the book, when you start applying it needs to be from a genuine place, because you don't want to do this and then both of y'all are trying to do this because the book said so. It really needs to be from your core, and what do y'all each individually want and what y'all want collectively with each other as a couple. The spiritual part of it is like we keep removing, and I'm not sure where your book or what the premise is behind it, if it's taken from like you said like a couples or marriage counseling. Is it like from a church or a spiritual aspect of it? Because we keep removing God out of things.
Well, the chaplain,
and that's where
the chaplain gave that book during a marriage retreat. You know what I'm saying? So that where that came from, and that because they had like a whole 4 or 5 day seminar where they, pay for you to go on a thing, and they, you
and I'm just wondering if any part of that book speaks about God being.
Oh, I mean, if you look in there somewhere, they'll tell you some of the scenarios with people's lives are around that. They give you like some case studies or whatever, but But I understand where you're coming from. Like, your spirit, your spirituality, and your core beliefs and what it is. So, but I cut you off. My apologies.
I mean, it's hard.
I just look at it from that aspect because that's where love originates. That's the creator of love. He is love himself. And
for some people.
Yeah, but you can have people love and don't understand and don't have the correct communication skills because they didn't get it when they were in they didn't get it from their father and their mother or any adults. So you're talking about you got a lot of people out here who are coming from dysfunctional families, and they don't really have any coping skills how to deal with the differences between the sexes or the difference between people, because they're going to treat you like they have been conditioned to treat based on the atmosphere that they were raised in typically. So yeah, I get the spirituality of the matter, but you cannot say that all spirituality, and you can't say that, well, I don't need this knowledge. Okay.
No,
Yeah,
you pick and choose, and you use what really does hit you and
right.
apply to you. It's in the time frame that you're in how you're walking and how you're trying to make sure that you can get your viewpoint or this and the other to your mate. But I'm not saying it's not creditable. I'm saying you pick and choose what you want to get from it or what you take from it and actually do apply to yourself.
But
But
I think,
I
yeah, I think it also forces you also to get out your own paradigm too, because sometimes we got stinking thinking. Even the most spiritual people I know have have like what they call a stronghold that they haven't been able to conquer yet because they lack the information, and sometimes they have to. In the case with the counselor or a book, they have to have some external influence to get them on the right path.
So I would say that the book serves, and I'm not swearing by it. I'm just like, somebody could have had this conversation with me in person. That book, I would say, I would have to say,
it's
rather,
doing you some good.
Is to make you aware.
Yeah, yeah.
Is to make you aware that if, and this might not fit everybody's situation, you know what I'm saying? It's just something, right, that you read and you be like, oh dang, snap.
It's just something to open the door.
Right. I can see the validity in this book. Here I am trying to, force this on somebody, and I know how the hell I feel. Now, it also requires some self-reflection and being honest with yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some humility. Right. So I would just say it serves as a random something that you read or that you look at, and then you try to apply it to whatever situation you may be going through, and then you be like, oh snap, this could be potentially what's wrong. Let me give it a shot and see if it changes some things. And then you go through and you figure it out and you apply it, and then you be like, oh, that worked. We didn't argue today because I did this. I stayed in instead of going out, and notice a whole difference. I wouldn't get none because I was going out, but then I stayed in and I got it all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so you start seeing seeing a pattern based on what you learned and your application of it and stuff like that. But it only serves as a source to make people aware of something.
Right.
Well, also
starter. And I always thought it was like really strange that, like, not to stomp on anybody, or whatever, but like, so they tell you to go to counseling and stuff like that, and whatever your spiritual path is. But I always thought it was very strange that there were no, like, okay, try meditating with your partner or something like that, because when you start practicing those things with your partner, it opens new doors to communication, because you actually have to slow down and listen to each other's spirit.
Well, it's just another tool. It's just another tool. That's all I see it as. Yeah. And it might be the point to lead you that you might not need to be together, because if you don't want to do those things for that individual, then you need to go your separate ways. And that's also a part of
not also put up on the table as a way to help build.
I think it is. I mean, a lot of churches that I don't do church anymore, but a lot of churches I know, there's like the family that stays together, that prays together, stays together. And prayer is just another form of meditation between you, God, and you can have you and your spouse in there together that pray together at the same. You're meditating on the same thoughts and the same answers that you're looking for from him. So yeah, I think that's out there, but I guess the reason we're talking about this because that's what the subject is. And meditation is a powerful way to meditate together. I would recommend that also. But then there's meditation that you need to do just for yourself too. Mm-hmm. So you got to do that too. So it's not just
the topic was, will it transform a relationship?
I don't know. I'm just listening to y'all, and I don't really agree with a lot. I kind of call bullshit on a lot.
Well, call it how you want to. I just said
I
it, but
can
I'm gonna
tell
tell
you
you
had
like
that steak face. You had that steaky steak look on your
right.
face.
Yeah, I was
Let me
looking
tell
at
you
it
something right
like,
now.
oh,
But you got to understand, you got to be in a relationship and do this thing. I'm gonna tell you right now. My grandma told me this. She say people. She used four. She said people need four things to be complete because we, men, the folks of America or whomever life, that we measure things off of 100%. So she said four. And she said those four things represent 25% in order to be whole, in order to be complete. You know what I'm saying? She was said physical, emotional, you know, sexual, and you can say mental or financial. You can use one of them to be complete. She said if one of them things is missing, if you need four to be whole, and you missing one, she said you gonna go and find that other 25% to make you complete. You know what I mean? So either one of them. So when you look at these five, each one of them represent 25%. If one of them things missing, whichever you missing as far as your person. So whichever one of them ones represent, right? These four is what you need. These little five things is the various ways that different people around the earth like to be loved and like to be filled all up emotionally. So you know what I mean? The question
I
is,
think that's
if you like quality time, Tanya, because I'm finna, bring it to you. If you like quality time, then
He's preaching today.
do you have somebody to fill your love tank?
I really feel like this, and I didn't answer your question.
Which is why she's salty.
I love
over there with the stank face.
But let me just say this. The reason why I said that I call bullshit is that because really at the end of the day, I see people in relationships and you can know all the love languages and you can be good at everything, but people just your will. I've seen people just not have the will. And to me, I think it starts there. If you have the will to make something work, you can bend to whatever it is. It can. I'm going to answer my own question and say, yeah, it can transform if you have the will to make something work. And I think that's where a lot of relationships go wrong. There's somebody in the pair that just doesn't have the will, and I
Man,
don't
all
care
this
how
stuff
much you
is.
do.
I'm sorry. I
I
was
don't care
gonna
how
say
much
all
you.
this stuff is tools and tactics and techniques to help you
Right.
with your
Right, but I'm
will.
just saying in general, right? If you don't have it there, and some people you can read them a book, you can show them a movie, it's just not there. And I guess I've seen those type
Cause
of
their ass
people,
ain't in love. They ain't in love.
right?
They ain't in love at all. I mean, and that's what I was
Right.
telling them. If their heart in the right place, then it'll help. But if their heart in the wrong place, and no matter persuasion, tactics, hoops, whips,
Mm-hmm.
chains, whatever you got,
Hey,
flips
Ain't
and
going
back,
nowhere.
all that ain't gonna do you no good. Ain't
there's
no
a
good.
right and a
My,
wrong way to love
you know.
somebody.
But you also got to be careful.
Oh, Lord.
You also got to be
Oh,
careful how much you bend yourself to
That
please somebody
way.
else.
I'm in the
Michael
background.
LaCosta, yeah, Michael LaCosta and Bernard is
I'm
in the
telling you.
audience.
I'm sorry, man. Hey, no, but I look at it like this. That's just one book that happened to circulate. I know I first heard about Five Love Language, I want to say 2010, 2011. Took that little test, and every time I kind of go back and revisit, I'm still the same. Man, it's a tool, right, to try to help people. Just like when people read other stuff, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it's a tool, it's a guide on what type of, how your mind and stuff should be thinking when it comes to revenue and stuff like that. It's a tool. If you having issues, you're gonna work them things out. You got to get to the root cause, whatever the root cause is. That's just one of the things that kind of can help you identify what a potential root cause could be. Your love tank not being filled. There's people out there that's going at it over finances. There's people out there going out at it because they ain't getting things mopped up the way they supposed to
and
be mopped up. You know what I'm saying?
And there's some people out there who are just not yoked in any way, and they try to make something work because
Right.
they were so used to being in it, or they some physical attraction, or some bull crap reason that they got with the person to begin with, and they keep trying to make something work, and
Right.
it ain't gonna work.
And they spirits ain't a match.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Point
I
blank
mean,
period.
people in relationship fear, it's a lot of things just based on fear. They don't want to be alone. They want to love. If they can't find the
I
one
see a
they
lot of
want,
people
they
do
love the
that.
one that they can't find the one they want. They love the one they with.
Well, and I mean, a lot of that is like societal pressure too, like to set up, they set us up to think that we need to be with somebody at the end of the day. And, like that's not always necessarily true either.
Y'all out there
There's
shacking
also
up.
the economic pressure of you can't afford, most people can't afford to live on their own and be able to afford their bills and food, etc.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a
Yeah.
lot of factors
Sure.
out there why people in relationships for the wrong reason. But the
Right.
thing is, once you do find the right person and you think that, I think you should do everything in your power to do it until they stop trying. And once they stop trying, then it's a wrap, because it takes two to tangle.
Hey,
Mhm.
and if you're trying to transform your relationship and you don't have the answers, you can always start by the 5 love languages.
Dog
There are
claw.
5. There are 5. Okay, there are 5 to help you be aware that your style may not necessarily be the style of your partners. So, emotional love tanks, people, it's just like a gas tank. If it's on E, you go nowhere. Okay, so make sure those tanks are full.
And now
The
that
5 love
word,
languages.
thank you for your word from Michael, from Michael Lee. But something, when I first looked at it, and I'm just going to say this, I was like, all these are just so, they felt like they were so close together. And I felt like I kind of expected it to be a little bit more spaced out as for the trial and tribulations that a relationship will go through. So that's how I felt when I first saw it. I said, well, damn, like Shannon said, all 5. I mean, yeah, all 5 is
Can
me.
I please
But
equal parts? Equal
huh?
parts. I said, can I please equal parts? Equal parts. I want
Yeah,
to see what
she's 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. Okay.
Right.
Hold on.
And so that was just like it was to me. So that's why it kind of was a little weird for me. Now I do have my favorites. Like I said, quality time is my favorite. And I like the words. When it's a person who says the right things to me, especially when I'm going through something. It
Words are
is
powerful.
really good. Yeah, they can be very powerful,
Yeah.
especially when you're in a situation like myself. I'm Atlas. I tell you, I'm a Libra with a balance, with a water bearer moon, and so I'm always carrying. I feel like the world, and so for someone to even act like they care and anything that does mean a lot, because I feel like there's a lot on these shoulders. So words are powerful, but
They
I
are very
always,
powerful.
yes, always would love, of course, to be around that person. You know what I'm saying? So
Words
I
can hurt.
understand to a degree.
Words can hurt, and words can make you feel so good. So good.
But I still call bullshit. Okay,
And
on
these
the
were
on the
sultry
side
some
of making sure that there's more work that gets done. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But can they transform a relationship? That's what the thing was. You know
All
what I'm
Yes.
right.
saying?
Well, let's have a vote.
I
Yes or
have
no? Let's
I
have a
have
vote. Go
Well,
ahead.
let's
Go
see what
ahead.
Tiana says.
yeah,
an
Go ahead.
experience.
Say that
experience.
one more time.
I have an experience where it transformed the relationship.
Okay.
Put
Okay.
it out there, girl.
Okay.
Slap it
So,
out.
You know
uh,
what?
I went from a highly communicative relationship to not speaking for 3 days. And what that did is it transformed the relationship to gone.
To who?
To the
To
Gone.
floor.
gone. Gone.
Gone.
Oh,
As because I have this anxiety about, I need to know that I'm not doing the wrong thing. I don't care if I'm doing the right thing. I just need to know that I'm not doing the wrong thing, which is
gotcha.
weird to say, but it makes sense to
Right.
myself.
You need like communicative, like you just need communication.
Well,
Yeah.
then definitely you sound like you need words of affirmation.
Oh, for sure. And
You
I
know.
threw that in chat. But
Mhm.
it did transform the relationship whenever they stopped telling me that I wasn't doing the wrong things. You know, I was okay. It was going to be okay. And eventually it just wasn't okay. And the relationship went poof.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, it transformed it for sure.
Yeah, and that absolutely,
for you.
like I said before, like it'll let you know if you want to be in a relationship or out of the relationship. Because if you don't want to work for it, you don't deserve the relationship.
Yeah, that's what I was
Right.
saying about the calling bullshit. You got to do the work. But here's my question. My question is this. Um, I would say, let's see, you have the acts of service, you have the physical touch, you have the quality time, the things that require that you be around that individual. What if it's not that you're around that individual? How do you maintain something using these five love languages?
I mean, you
I
don't
guess
use
that's the
all of
difference
them.
between using premium gas and unleaded. They both will get you there. One of them's just going to get you there a little faster.
I
Now,
mean,
what
I,
about when the boredom kicks in? Let's say when the words are so many and it gets boring. What happens when the
look,
Then you
look,
need a
words get
toy.
look,
boring?
look, look. The thing is, in the book, and I've read the book a couple of times, and the thing is, it's not like all these love languages are applied to you. There's one or two that's going to resonate with your spirit, period. And whatever that one is, then you need to or you need to express to your loved one that this is what you need, and then vice versa. I like to know, what do you want? What are your love languages? See, we
But
need
I had
to.
a specific question. Answer that specific question. If you have, it's almost like cutting off a sense. You got five senses, and three of them are cut off, and you have just the one or two senses there. So the same thing with the love languages. Let's say you only have one because you're distant or something like that. How do you keep that from not getting boring and going off the rails? Is it possible?
Yeah, I mean, if you have one language, you have one. If my love language is touch, oh, if you're not around, then you got a problem. You got a
Now
major
it's clicking
problem.
for him.
If you're around, and that'll be very difficult. Then you need to probably make some special arrangements, like, hey, we need to get a vacation together or do something like that to rekindle. I mean, where's there a will, there's a way. A lot of times you have to get really creative when things not going like as planned. So you had to come up with a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, but you keep working towards the mark and working towards giving that. And if I know that your heart is there and you want to do these things for me, but just because of circumstances, then I have to make a determination. Are these circumstances going to be a permanent situation? If it's a temporary thing, then we can work past it. But if it's going to be a permanent situation, then I might have to buy out the relationship, to be honest with you.
So somebody can sit there and buy you a based off of what you said. Somebody can buy you a whole bunch of gifts, and they think I bought her this, I bought her that, and I gave her this, and I gave her that, and I did this, and I did that, and only thing you're asking for is time. They're not, and if you're not getting that time, you could care less about them gifts. You know what I'm saying? You can do acts of service, you can give gifts, and you can try to sit there and be all, up under me and all that. But my thing is physical touch. When I come in the door after a long day of work, I want you to rub my head. I want to lay down, put my head in your lap, wrap my arms around your waist, and just snuggle and cuddle. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be. Just whatever. Hey, rub my chest, rub my back, just touch me.
Okay, we got enough, brother.
Right, okay, my bad.
I was just kind of freaking me out a little bit.
You put a fucking blanket or something. Some cold blanket.
Because I ain't touching you. I ain't touching
Right.
you.
But if that does not happen, for those whose think love language is touch, if that does not happen, your tank ain't being filled. You're not necessarily satisfied, because the one thing you want, you are not getting. Because that's the one thing that's the one, the greater of whatever else, however many you may have, so on and so forth. So those things are points of contention, and they probably keep representing themselves if you never get it. So those are points of contention to probably add into a slew of whatever else that could be potentially wrong. So, in those relationships, people, when you're in relationships, people tell you, man, that your relationship or your home is supposed to be your sanctuary, not your mortuary. If every day you walk through that door knowing that you're not finna get rubbed on, or you're not finna get quality time, or they're not finna buy you no gift or leave you little notes of words of affirmation,
Why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here?
But then, you know, like I said, it's just to make you aware, in this little tools that you can use to try to identify potential issues, and then you making the application, you know, applying those techniques and then seeing if they can help you out. But
Right.
there's a whole lot more that you need to do if y'all having issues like that.
Yeah,
Just
some
kind of
deeper
curious.
to search out.
Right.
Okay.
But I mean,
I'm
in
just
some
kinda
cases
curious.
it can't be those things, those little small things. Like if you having those issues, you be like, oh man, let me start doing this. Let me start, you know, you know what? Instead, on the weekend, I'm gonna just chill and see what the difference is. You know, you test it out. Hey, you know what? I got some sticky notes right here. Let me write "I love you" before I walk out the door. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know,
And then next thing you know, you're getting text all day. Thank you for the thing I see. And then you come home and you got, you know, dinner on you know what I'm saying, or something like that, or you know,
He said
lingerie.
something like that.
You know, so
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
but from my, the things I remember from my divorce, it wasn't the big things that I remember that I miss. It was the little things I missed, like a little touch, a little
Detail in it.
laughter, helping each other make up the bed at the same time. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
get
Oh
up the
yeah,
bed
see,
and
in
we
my
make up the
three, I
bed.
can tell you that is one of the biggest things I miss out of relationships is damn, I've got to crawl to the other side of the bed
Yeah,
now.
I mean, you feel me? You see what I'm saying? You feel me? Little
Yeah.
things like that. Not having someone to cook for, someone not being able to rub her hips before we go to sleep, not being able to pray together before we go to sleep. Little things, just
Praying.
little things. You know what I'm saying? It's not the big things, because the big things, we normally get the big things fitted in, but sometimes the little details that make that person that extra special, that little detail that remind you, this is why I love you. This is why I fell in love with you. That moment that you felt in love, what did they do? A lot of
Right.
times it's
And
not
then
big things.
then you gotta develop your own love language with each other, like your
Right.
own little special cues and stuff like that. There's a book by a guy named Howard Thurman, and I think it's something disciplines. I can't remember, but in the book it was stating that he would give his wife certain cues when he came in the house, so she know that, oh, that's a day I don't need to speak with you right away when you come through the door, because it must have been a bad day at work. You had your tie on your shoulder. So that's just, you can speak to each other without fully speaking, but just with little eye contact and just noticing each other and how you're moving. You can do, and then couples also got their own love language. You know, when your girl or whoever wants something from you, you just you just give that little slight look, and you know what they look mean. Y'all got to develop your own love language. So,
Right. Okay.
and use them.
And a lot of times that is just a conversation. The reason people don't make it is because they really never get to the meat of the issue that's going on, and they never dig deep on the conversation, what's really going on. A lot of times we talk about a lot of superficial stuff that doesn't mean crap, and we focus on major and the minors, when the major stuff that's really messing with you, you don't really even talk about it. And I think loving the tools with the 5 love language is just that it's a tool to open up even deeper communication on a psychological and a spiritual level.
Okay. You know.
It's like learning how to be still with each other, because life is you moving. Learning how to be still with one another.
That was some of the best moments. We ain't saying nothing, but we were just in the same room with each other, not saying nothing, but having a great time.
I mean, that's the way most dates are now out in public anyway. You go on a date and everybody do this. You know what I mean? Nobody talking to each other no more. You know what I'm saying? They talking about the latest trends. They not getting intimate. I think somebody said it earlier, when you out on a date and when you doing whatever and you having meaningful conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Now, this is what they doing.
A lot of conversation lacks content. A lot of conversation lacks substance. A lot of conversation lacks meaning. Just be talking, just to be talking about anything. You know, are you really engaged with the person that's sitting across from you? You know what I mean? And I call it, you know, having genuine give a damn. You know, you genuinely have to give a damn about the person you with. You know what I'm saying? For any of whatever the hell y'all got going on to even make sense. You know what I mean? You know, as them young folks say, keeping it real, you gotta keep it real. You know, you just gotta keep it real, man.
Goes wrong.
You know, and then hopefully y'all on the same page, man, because some people just disagree. Y'all can be two different people, but how do you make that work? And if y'all are so different but too different, can a relationship work? That would be my question.
Right. Well, I think there we have it. We have answered the question as to whether the 5 love languages can transform a relationship. And what I'm gathering from you all is it can, provided that other things come to play, like doing the work, you know, finding out which language works best for you under whatever circumstance. And am I right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Two thumbs
I
up.
think when you talk about love, I think people are just optimistic about love because everybody want to be in love. Everybody want to special somebody. Don't nobody want to be, you know what I'm saying, all sad and lonely and depressed and experiencing life without love.
Wait, why are you talking about me, bro?
It's a thin line between love and
How
hate.
much are you willing to do? How much effort, how much work, and how much sweat are you willing to put in it to get out of it what you need, what you want, what you need? A couple of your wants, but what you really need.
I sweat
I got
equity,
you.
baby. Sweat equity. No
I was
sweat,
thinking
no
those exact
equity.
words. The
Nice
exact words.
versus necessity.
There's been so many song references tonight, and I've been trying really, really hard to sit
It's a
back
good
here.
playlist, right? A good playlist, right?
You know, I took this test, right, and it says that 17% of me wants acts of service. I'm pretty sure that 17% is random tacos.
You said
17%
Like,
of the
just
time,
buy
if you
me
bring me
tacos.
tacos, I'm going to love the hell out of you.
Happy.
Yeah.
You know what?
Give
I
me
need
my
to take the
favorite,
actual
whatever it
test.
is.
Yeah, I put the link in the chat.
Okay, so that's what that
Yeah.
was. Okay. I should do that. You know what? We're going to go to break. And while we're on break, I'm going to see if I can. Let me pull it up
It
right
takes
now.
about
See if
5
I could
minutes,
take.
just so you know.
Oh, really? Do
Yeah,
I have
it
the
takes about a
time?
minute.
Okay. Let's see if I have the time to do it. I might just do the quiz real quick, and then by the end of the show, I can see what they say my particular love language is. And so, any more thoughts on this before we decide to go to break? It
Nope.
doesn't sound like this is more question.
Nope. We got to
All
go
right.
here.
All
Clear
right.
heart,
So
clear
here
mind.
we're going to go to a break. And then while you all are doing your ending, I'm going to see if it's possible that I can jump over and do the quiz. Okay, here we go. Break. Be back in a moment. Dang, that was short.
Y'all over there trying to take that test like I am too. I'm over here clicking like
Yes.
He said, this one.
Because I want to see what happens too before the show ends. So you know how we always do. I gotta plug in my phone. It is dying. Okay, one of my phones is dying, but I want to do
Your
this
phone's
while.
love language is power.
She said power. Did she say power? She trying to
did.
take over. She trying to take over.
Hold on a second. Let me get this phone before it dies completely, because if it's at 5%, it's going to cuss me out in just a few
It
moments.
would not be the living room without technical difficulties.
I know,
It would not be
right?
us.
We ain't
You know
claiming that.
what?
We ain't claiming that. We ain't claiming that.
What we're going to do is we're going to reverse our order, and we're going to start off with Shannon and see what it is that you have coming up this coming week. And during that time, let me see if I can finish this
quiz.
test. Yes.
So, like I said, Tuesday I meet with my new client to talk about his painting, and then the 28th, I might be having like a little photo shoot get together thing with this other guy I've been collaborating with, and then the next Friday on the 4th, I want to let everybody know at the same time I'm going to be in Detroit. So I may or may not be here. I'm going to try my hardest to be here on the 4th. But just know I'm going to be going on.
Hold up. You got to bring your guy onto the show.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. I already asked him. He's like, yeah, I'm not into that. I was like, whatever, you live stream all the time. What are you talking about? So yeah, I'm a little booked, but it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay. Well, that's good, Miss Shannon. Well, damn it, Shannon.
I'm sorry. Go on my social media. It's Element Rose. I've been painting for such a long time. I'm in the process of doing another painting, so if you ever wonder if I can redo these for you, I can. That's an answer to your question. I also do murals and body paints and whatever you think artistically. That is what I can do. Is that long enough for you?
She also does personal branding. That I'm going to convince her to do for me.
I do all that digital stuff you could ever ask for. I'm a one-stop shop.
Okay.
I am both mom and pop of the mom and pop shop.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Shannon. Okay, Mr. Turn 'em Loose. I know you taking a test too, right? Are you
no, I'm done. My test in the chat.
Okay, let me see.
My results in the chat, baby.
I'm the only one that's still going.
No, man, like I said, I'm in school mode. I'm chilling. Just linking up with the partner, scrubbing our stuff, trying to make business decisions, man. We gonna get our stuff straight. But in the meantime and in between time, what I'm saying, just trying to, prepare for this the end of this semester, so I can go on and get that out the way and then start another program, and just just live and try to learn how to be a civilian again. Okay. Try to get back to being who I was, who I am, and who I can be.
Hey, Mike, it's going to be a transition. What I can say, just be patient with yourself, and be patient with the civilian populace, because they kind of do things out. They kind of do things out of order. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason. There's no chain of. You think you have one chain of command, but it's not really a chain of command. You find that the other people are empowered that you don't even know that they even exist in the makeup, and kind of learn how to play the politics and learn the culture wherever you go. Right. Each company has its own culture. Each corporation has its own culture. Learn the corporation, learn the players, and learn who to stay close to and who to stay away from.
I feel you. I appreciate that. That's gonna come in handy.
And you now have the choice to stay away from them. You aren't ordered to stay close to them.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And I actually can add to that, because I actually lost a friend after having been in the military and been a ranger and everything, and just that life. I think you're on the right track of occupying, setting up things to occupy your world and planning for your world. I think that sometimes when people just don't have a plan and they look back, and he did too much looking back and he couldn't let it go. and that affected him having a future. It's just like he couldn't live in the now; he was living in the past. And you can't live in the future because it's not here yet. But you could not live in the now and respect all the great that was happening. And essentially, he took his own life.
Right.
So I think you're on the right path because path because you're doing a lot of planning, you're doing a lot of thinking,
Right.
and you would be
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and the VA is there for you too. I remember like that. They got all kinds of programs and stuff. Reach out to them if you have any issues at all. Reach out to the
Gotcha.
VA because they're there for you. That's the only reason they exist is
Right.
for the veterans.
That's
Right.
what's
Hey,
up.
and if you ever need anybody to like talk to about anything, you've got all of us. I mean, hey, and some of us are diagnosed, so
Hey,
we can understand your problems.
you know,
That
Hell,
knows
I'm
crazy.
certified.
I'm
therapy
certified.
sessions every Friday night on
Hey, I'm
Art
saying.
Imitates Life.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now, pops. What you got going on this week?
Me, it's really about transition from a single dad to a thriving, vivacious, gregarious man again. But also now my schedule is my schedule, and now I need to like schedule my work and everything um, based on my availability, and get everything aligned. I don't have anybody that at the last moment like, hey dad, you got to do this, or hey dad, you got to do this, because I have my time. So as an entrepreneur, we know that your time is the most precious thing that you have uh, ever. For anybody, your time is most important. So I have a lot of free time, and what I do need to do is I need to focus on that and focus on my businesses. I'm finishing up. I have finished up on my book finally. I got it really complete, but I just don't have it the way I want it. I need to like tweak a little bit things, and it's not the words or anything. It's more of the pictures that fill up, because it's a children book, and children are very visual and they like the bright colors and everything. I have the major pictures done, but the pictures where the words at, I just need some filler space around those words just to fill up that space. But that's pretty much a done deal. That should be done uh, this month, no doubt, and it'll be Amazon, and I'll let you know when it's up. And other than that, I help people do text marketing. Text marketing is one of the best way to market to people. They might not look at their email, they might not answer their phone, but I guarantee you that 90% of the people out there in the United States are 90% of the time they're going to look at the text that they receive. So I help people formulate packages so they can market to be like an asset to their CRM, so they retain those clients that they already have. Or if they have a database of clients that they've already talked to and they want to reach back out to them, they can keep contacting them through text marketing, which is called SMS marketing. So I'd be glad to help anybody at that. And you can reach me at Pop's Guide. That's Pop Guide on Instagram.
Okay.
And you can
Cool.
also reach me at popspassiveincome.com.
Okay. Cool. Thank you, pops. Thank you. Margo, what you got going on this coming week?
This coming week is more
Hmm.
self-discovery. That's what that is this week. There's a lot of things that have been transpiring the past week, so just trying to make sure I'm being at peace with myself and some changes that are happening that I can't control. But I am going to get heavy into some DIY as well as into some little things of trying to teach my son about business and marketing himself, because he's really good at art. I have a 14-year-old that's really good at art, and he's going to do a project with customizing some things, like clothing or shoes or something. So I'm telling him like, hey, don't lowball yourself. See what the item is first. You're gonna customize and think about it and do some research. So gonna teach him how to do that and work on some other stuff with my eldest son with his business startup. So that's what
Cool.
Reach out if you need some help in pricing and stuff like that.
Okay, thank you. I'm just trying to let him know that, you know, he's really good, and let him know that I'm behind him and I believe in him. So I'm gonna put that money behind him too.
Let me
Both
tell you
of my
something.
boys.
That's super important that you let him know that it can be more than a hobby. Like that's super.
Oh
super
yeah.
Because I've been
They're
fighting for a little while, and I'm just now to the point where I'm like, I can do this more than a hobby, and I'm 32 years old. Like, don't let them wait till they're 32 to believe in that. You know.
No.
So good for you for being behind them this hard to be like, no, we can get this started while you're still in school and just push forward, and you don't even have to worry about it.
Oh yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Miss Tianna, wowza.
I mean, my week is around the globe and out of this world that's coming up because I have opportunities that are my seeds are finally growing into something. So I officially got my contract renewed as a satellite interface development intern.
Cool. All right.
I was able to provide enough value to the company Astro Hub to for them to double my hours of my contract for my hours, not the pay yet, but the hours are there. Also, with that same company, there is a opportunity that may come up to where I get to take my. We're in the last 20 minutes. I get to take my butt on down to Australia and be a representative to the company.
Cool.
So I'm hoping that'll work out.
Get to fight some spiders.
Get to fight some. Yep.
Get to
If I
fight
can
some
survive the
spiders.
South, I can survive Australia. We talked about that earlier.
I don't know. Those are different creatures. Those are all different creatures.
I'm also working on my freelance stuff.
And the poison is different too.
Yeah, I'm saying that's some big portions they feeding you out there. That's some big portions of animals.
It's a little lively little sucker here. So be careful while you're out there.
I will be careful. I might end up married. I don't know.
I like that.
Freelance business. Hold on. She wasn't done. So your freelance business?
Yeah, I'm working on some freelance projects. I don't know if I can talk about them yet, but I am doing that. And then my boss at Kinsey, the academy, told me today that, quote, I may have an opportunity for you, but I cannot tell you about it until Monday. So this weekend is going to be a complete mess because now my anxiety is through the roof trying to figure out what
I was about to say your whole weekend gonna be worried about what's coming up.
Try to stay out of your own head to try to figure it out. Just try to stay out of your head for a minute.
Hey, either you're gonna have one opportunity or you're gonna go to Australia. There's two choices, girl.
And look,
you just got renewed. They got you.
Or
do this all weekend.
Since both of these opportunities, or one of these opportunities is remote, I could potentially have both.
Oh,
that's cool. That's cool.
Make sure you got good Wi-Fi.
Thank you, Tianna. I was saying I like that to Michael's accent. I wasn't finishing cutting off Tianna, but Michael had a good accent going there. I was like, say more of that, you know. But,
Whoa. And tonight on the living room.
Love language.
You got accents too?
I have a thing for accents.
Oh, yeah.
There's a thing for accents too.
So you on live and you just told everybody you like Australian accents. I can see your inbox
They're
now.
gonna be in your inbox now. How you doing, mate?
Hey, let me speak to Tanya, please.
Just FYI.
How are you?
Yeah, that has happened. Just FYI, you know. But
DM's about to be popping.
I'm from down under, so you know I'm not afraid to go back down.
Inbox lover.
You said
inbox lover. Wow.
Inbox lover.
Well, let me
y'all using the love languages. So, hey, those are love languages.
Right. Well, let me tell you about my quiz. I was really surprised. It said that I like the words of affirmations, 29%, acts of service, 26%, quality time and receiving gifts were only 16%, and physical touch, 13%. I just really thought that it would be like flipped in some other way. I did not see that happening. So it kind of shocked me a little bit, that I was on that
You want
page.
your flowers now. Ain't that what you said in one of the
Yes.
episodes?
It's my
Give me
money.
my
And
flowers.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
It's
And guess
recorded.
what? That was the
It's
show
Gonna
that
be
she
hot.
was on. That was the show that she was the livest on. So
That's
It's
right.
recorded. We got the tape. We got the tape. The
So I
Tanya
guess y'all are
tape.
Play
right.
that back. Play that back.
Play it back.
I guess y'all are right. Y'all are right. Play my flowers now. So
yeah.
I'm really just surprised on that. But it's interesting. Now I will probably pay more attention in my whole situations. But
Situations. Well, that's
We'll
plus a
talk more.
plural.
We'll talk more a little bit in the after
Yeah.
show. I'm gonna have to dip after that. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
dip a little early in the after show. But word of affirmation is really obvious with you just because of some recent situations that have happened. I can tell you that's extremely obvious with you. Extremely obvious.
Who's she talking to?
I'm talking to Tandy.
Oh.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about this in the after show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna start
Words of
off with
affirmation.
off the whole thing with that. But I'll tell you what
Tianna got words too.
Yeah, I know, but Tandy was the only one that was like, it was really surprising. I thought physical touch and receiving his gifts would be flipped. But when you listen to her talk, sometimes it's totally not like that.
Flowers.
It's totally not like that.
Okay.
You want somebody to touch your hair and tell you pretty. It's okay.
Okay, well, I'll tell y'all this week, I got a soul spotlight. I just don't know who's on it right now. I got to talk to my manager about that because we were like this today, because we have a lot of people who are set to come on. We just got to get everything scheduled, but yesterday I did
You almost sounded like you from the UK.
On a schedule.
Schedule.
Yeah,
we having an interview. We just ain't got nobody to interview yet, but we gonna have an interview.
Yeah, but we're gonna have that. But yesterday I did Miss Robbie from she was on the OWN network, so Welcome to Sweetie Pies, and so you can catch that interview out there. And like I said, there's more to come. I got to get with my manager to see who's up first because we both are just everywhere this week. The biggest thing that I have been working on is that I said I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it. Is the movie. And so I have been really dead set on reading my movie scripts because I have 3. And so I'm trying to see which one was the best to go with. And so I kind of feel like we're going with The Cost of Freedom. And The Cost of Freedom is really, it's like a dramatic comedy type of thing. I call it a dramedy. And it is really going to be set here, mostly in Atlanta. And we have a world of people, of course, that we can have in this movie. This movie has a religious undertone, but it's not a religious movie, but it is, The Cost of Freedom is based on scripture. What does it benefit a man to gain the world and lose his soul in the process? That is the underlying basis of the film. So Cost of Freedom coming soon. So we're working on that. All right. So I thank you all. You know what? Of course, my social media, you know how I do. Let me go ahead and run this real quick. Be right back.
We hope that you have enjoyed this episode of Art Imitates Live with Tanya Dixon. So be sure to like and subscribe. And also check us out on all of our other social media.
Okay, y'all, welcome back. Well, I can't sing the Carol Burnett song, but I am so glad we had this time together just to share a laugh or sing a song. Seems we both get started, and then before we know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Y'all remember that?
I love it when you serenade us. I love it when you serenade us. It's my favorite. Keep going.
I thought that was it. That was her little ditty at the end of every song.
Rose
Anybody
got her
remember? I
words of
know.
affirmation tonight.
I don't know if anybody remembers the show. I know Bernard. Did you watch Carol Burnett?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorite shows.
Hi. Does
Yeah, it was
anybody else?
one of my mom's favorites.
Okay. I didn't know whether anybody was young enough, old enough, or what have you to remember that song.
I
But I still love it.
I don't remember the song, but I saw it.
Because that was like a definite favorite. Well, I do enjoy you all being here and taking the time to be on the program. It does mean
And
a
we
whole lot
enjoy
to
you
me.
having us.
Amen.
Yes.
Yes.
Here, here.
What he
Yes.
said.
Really.
Here, here.
Yes,
Bring
thank
that
you.
gavel or something. I don't know. Isn't that what
Thank
they do?
you. We
Yeah, give him
appreciate
gavel.
What was that?
Hit him in the head with it. That's it. Yeah.
All right, okay, y'all. But I thank you. You know what? I like to just say a little something before I leave, but now if I can remember, so we just gonna go. I think I said it last week. I said on the show yesterday, but my brain is a little too scrambled from the Moscato.
Moscato in your heart. Being a little
That'll be your thing.
the Moscato.
Moscato.
They're gonna have to start sending you a little check. They're gonna have to start sending you a check for all this advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
I know, and then y'all
Yeah,
telling
you
me
were
the
gonna-
brands and everything.
Right,
Okay,
yeah.
well, I found it. But you
Yeah,
know
you were
what,
gonna-
y'all?
You were going to discuss the
Uh-huh.
situation in reference to that they didn't want to, the advertisers didn't want to advertise with us. You were going to bring up that situation.
Yeah, that is a situation where I'm still kind of learning about the whole platform here. And I don't know if the specific words that we use is the bots that are out there just grabbing our words or subject matter or what it is. And that's why I mentioned it earlier. And I said we don't see ourselves as being offensive to anyone, but yet we know that other individual that we spoke of earlier says direct words to offend. So I'm asking myself, if I'm even doing an interview like I did with Miss Robbie yesterday and I still get the same response, what in the world is that all about? And so the only thing that I can say is we're going to try our best, do our best, but they need to be a little bit more decisive on who can get away with things and who cannot. It's not fair. It's not fair if we try to edit our words, work within the guidelines, and yet we still, get in a little bit of trouble. But we're still here for the time being until we get our platform, and which will happen. All right, y'all. But thanks again for being here. And I wanted to share with everybody out there. Here's my saying: good things come to those who believe. Better things come to those who are patient. But the best things come to those who never give up. I'm Tanya Dixon, and this is the Living Room Panel. You all have a beautiful week, and we'll see you next time on Art Imitates Live.